Are you ready for the ultimate Zarpado compilation facts? Subscribe and let's start. Annuel AA commissioned a life-size statue of himself made of wax and carbon fiber. The piece wears real clothes and authentic jewelry, and he uses it as decoration in his main living room to remind himself who he is. He also owns a customized military tank to drive through the streets of Miami. Rodrigo Santoro has the eccentric habit of practicing total silence for 24 hours before an important role. He does not speak to anyone, not even his family, in order to clear his mind and make room for the voice of the character he will portray. He says silence is the most powerful tool for a Latin artist in Hollywood. The largest painting in the world was created by Sasha Joffrey in a hotel in Dubai. It covers more than 146 square feet and was auctioned to raise funds for children in need. He spent months working on the floor of a ballroom. His work proves that art can break physical barriers to generate massive social impact. Gloria Trevi requires her dance team to use a specific perfume before going on stage. She claims that scents influence group synchronization and that a sweet aroma helps her enter a performance trance. She also asked for stage lights to be tested using quartz crystals. Salvador Dali was famous for his eccentricities, such as walking an anteater on a leash. He used to give lectures wearing an old-fashioned diving suit, nearly suffocating on one occasion. He said his mustache was a cosmic antenna. The sarcophagus of Arcesilaus is a Greek artifact that depicts the spice trade. It is one of the few representations of daily life and the economy of ancient African colonies. The object details the weighing of rare medicinal plants. It shows how ancient art also served as an accounting record of a kingdom's wealth. The Ulysses Nardan Genghis Khan wristwatch features automaton figures that fight on the dial. Every time the watch marks the hour, the gold warriors move to the rhythm of a musical chime. It is a mechanical work of art with Westminster sound. The Carmat artificial heart is the first fully functional bioprosthetic device. It uses biological tissues to avoid rejection and sensors that adjust the rhythm according to patient activity. It allows patients to wait for a real transplant. It is a masterpiece of medical robotics that perfectly imitates the complexity of the most vital human organ. The Gutenberg Bible was the first major book printed with movable metal type. It marked the beginning of the democratization of knowledge by enabling the mass production of written texts. It changed religion and global politics. Today, only a few original copies remain, guarded as some of humanity's most valuable treasures. The record for the most hula hoop rotations around the neck in 1 minute is 151. It was achieved by Obadias Hermas of Ethiopia, who used incredible spinning speed without using his shoulders. This requires muscular coordination that seems to defy human anatomy. Pizza beer was invented in Illinois and is brewed by steeping whole pizzas with tomato and oregano into the mash. The final liquid has an aroma of garlic and basil, designed to be the perfect drink to accompany Italian food. It removes the need to eat and drink separately by combining both flavors. The Holy Prepuce was one of the most controversial and claimed relics of Christianity. More than 14 churches in Europe claimed to possess it during the Middle Ages, attributing miraculous powers to it. It mysteriously disappeared from the town of Calcutta in 1983. Tong sul is a traditional Korean medicinal drink made from children's feces fermented in rice alcohol. It is believed to have healing properties for bone fractures and severe internal bruising, although today it is extremely rare. It is a cultural challenge that uses human waste as medicine and is perhaps the hardest drink to consume for outsiders to ancient Eastern medical practices. Michael Jackson had eccentric habits, such as sleeping in a hyperbaric oxygen chamber. He bought the Neverland Ranch to create a private amusement park and kept a pet chimpanzee. He revolutionized the music video and modern dance. His obsession with privacy and his unique aesthetic made him the most analyzed figure in pop culture. The record for the tallest dog in the world was held by Zeus, a Great Dane that stood over 3.3 feet tall at the shoulder. When standing on his hind legs, he reached a total height of 7.22 feet. He ate about 31 pounds of food per day to maintain his massive size. The record for the greatest number of toilet paper rolls balanced on the head is 31, achieved by J. Rawlings. He had to balance them while walking a short distance to prove the stack was stable and not attached. It requires an extremely strong neck and superior balance. Tiger bone wine is an illegal drink in China that is still produced on the black market for its supposed powers. It is believed to strengthen the human skeleton and cure arthritis, which has led to poaching of this endangered animal. It is one of the greatest threats to tiger conservation in Asia. In Australia, it is illegal to change a light bulb unless you are a certified electrician. Although the law has been relaxed recently, you could technically receive a fine for attempting a basic electrical repair at home. The law aimed to reduce household accidents caused by electrocution. The Colony truck is a prototype vehicle designed with organic and futuristic curves. Its cabin is a glass sphere with a triple windshield wiper that resembles an airplane propeller. This vehicle was designed to reduce air resistance to an extreme degree. Solar Orbiter is a mission designed to capture images of the sun's poles for the first time. It carries a titanium heat shield coated with animal bone material to withstand the star's extreme heat. The journey aims to understand the origin of the solar wind that affects Earth. Its cameras have revealed miniature solar campfires never seen before by humans. Elton John had the eccentric habit of spending $400,000 on flowers in less than 2 years. He owns one of the largest glasses collections in the world, with more than 25,000 pairs of every style. He even installed an ATM inside his home. His extravagant style and piano genius made him the eternal rocket man of pop culture. Swimmer Eric the Eel Musambani competed in the Sydney 2000 Olympics after learning to swim only months earlier. He finished his 100-meter heat nearly sinking, but received the biggest ovation in Olympic Stadium history. His effort was celebrated above any gold medal. He showed that participation in representing a small country is the true essence of global sports competition. John Christie built a world-class opera house on his country estate solely for his wife. He wanted her to be able to sing in a perfect environment without traveling to London, which led to the creation of the Glyndebourne Festival. He turned his garden into the epicenter of European culture. Fessik is an Egyptian fermented fish eaten during the Sham el-Nessim festival. It is sun-dried and cured in salt for 1 year, and if the process fails, it can cause deadly botulism. This food tradition dates back to the era of the pharaohs. Every year, health authorities issue warnings, yet Egyptians remain loyal to this ancient flavor. Sergei Bubka broke his own world record in pole vaulting 35 times throughout his career. He did it centimeter by centimeter to collect financial bonuses from sponsors for each new mark. The event was dominated by Bubka for decades in an almost dictatorial way. The record for the longest fingernails was held by Lee Redmond, who did not cut her nails for 30 years. Her nails reached a combined length of 28.38 feet and required daily care with olive oil. She lost her nails in a car accident in the year 2009. It is an example of how physical obsession can become a world record that defines an entire life. The Richard Mille RM5201 wristwatch features a rose gold skull at the center of the dial. The skull is not merely decorative, as it serves as the bridge that supports the entire tourbillon mechanism. Valued at $600,000, it uses aerospace materials to remain extremely lightweight. It is a favorite among billionaires and athletes seeking aggressive design and cutting-edge technology. Kiribati is the only country in the world located in all 4 hemispheres at once. Its islands are so spread out that they cross both the equator and the international dateline. It will likely be the first nation to disappear due to rising sea levels. It is a country fighting for physical survival while preserving a millennia-old navigation culture. The Bible of the Poor, known as Biblia Pauperum, used images instead of text during the Middle Ages. It was designed so people who could not read could understand biblical stories through illustrations. Woodcut engravings were used to narrate complex scenes. Yayoi Kusama has voluntarily lived in a psychiatric hospital since the year 1977. Her eccentricities include an obsession with polka dots that cover all her sculptures and paintings. She says painting saves her from her hallucinations. At over 90 years old, she remains the most successful and recognized living female artist in the world. The record for the most Big Macs eaten in a lifetime belongs to Don Gorski. exceeding 32,000. He has eaten at least one burger almost every day since 1972 and keeps every receipt in box as proof. It is a fascinating case study for doctors on cardiovascular health. Despite his fast food diet, Gorski maintains a healthy weight and normal cholesterol levels. Bilkis is a drink made from an exact mixture of beer and milk with 70% beer and 30% milk. It was created by a distillery to take advantage of excess milk from local farms and has a sweet, fruity flavor. This beverage is popular among women and young people looking for alcohol that is less bitter. It is an example of how Japanese gastronomy is not afraid to combine ingredients the rest of the world considers incompatible. The Gold Belt of Mainz is an Iron Age piece of goldsmith work found in Spain. It features engravings of warriors on horseback and scenes of deities from what seems like a forgotten mythology. It weighs almost 2.2 pounds of pure gold. It is the most brilliant testimony of the warrior aristocracy that inhabited the north of the peninsula before Rome. The Ulysses Nardin Freak wristwatch was the first in history to eliminate hands and a dial. The entire mechanical movement rotates on itself to indicate time acting as its own minute hand. This invention broke with 200 years of Swiss tradition. Cassini-Huygens managed to land a probe on Titan, the moon of Saturn. It revealed a world with rivers and lakes of liquid methane very similar to early Earth, but at freezing temperatures. The mission lasted 20 years before disintegrating in Saturn's atmosphere. Sumo athlete Hakuho Sho holds the record for the most sumo championships won in history. His routine included sleeping immediately after consuming 10,000 calories to ensure fat retention. It requires explosive strength hidden beneath immense body mass. Maria Felix, known as La Doña, owned a collection of Cartier jewelry inspired by Mexican wildlife. She commissioned a gold crocodile necklace with emeralds and rubies after bringing a real baby crocodile to the jewelry store as a model. She demanded to be treated like the queen of Mexican Golden Age cinema. The quietest room in the world is located at Microsoft Laboratories in the United States. It is so silent that you can hear your own blood circulating and your lungs working. Visitors usually cannot endure more than 45 minutes before hallucinating. It is a space of negative silence that proves the human brain needs noise to stay balanced. The reliquary of the Holy Thorn is a medieval jewel made of gold and rubies. It is believed to contain one of the thorns from the crown of Christ, protected by pure rock crystal. It was a gift from the French monarchy to the nobility. Cuyal palo is a preparation in which the animal is skewered on a pole and rotated over charcoal embers. The skin must become so crispy that it sounds like glass when broken, making it the star dish of festivals in Cusco. This cuisine is one of the oldest ways of cooking fauna in the Americas and brings Peruvian families together in celebrations where respect for the animal is shown by wasting nothing. Thalia owns a collection of hundreds of pairs of shoes and has a climate-controlled room just for them. She is said to be obsessed with hand cleanliness, sometimes using silk gloves to avoid direct contact. She is also known for collecting custom microphones with Swarovski crystals. The body of Saint Bernadette rests in Nevers, France after 140 years. Her face and hands remain intact without embalming, a phenomenon the Church calls incorruptibility. She is displayed in a glass shrine for the faithful. Scientists have studied the case without finding a definitive explanation. Faustino El Tino Asprilla once tried to teach his horse to play soccer on his farm. He is famous for hosting legendary parties where he has hired helicopters to drop flowers on guests. He also launched his own condom brand called Tino. Paulina Rubio, known as the Golden Girl, demands that there be absolutely nothing black in her dressing rooms. She asks that everything from towels to candles be white or gold to maintain positive energy. She also requests that the water she drinks be from a specific brand from the Fiji Islands. Kumis is a traditional Central Asian drink made from fermented mare's milk with low alcohol content. Because mare's milk contains more sugars than cow's milk, it ferments naturally and becomes fizzy. This drink was a staple for nomadic warriors such as Genghis Khan. It has a sour flavor and light texture and is considered medicinal by tribes that still raise animals on the steppes. The record for the largest number of people dressed as Smurfs was achieved in Germany with 2,762 participants. Everyone had to have blue-painted skin-white hats and white pants to be validated by the Guinness judge. The event turned a small town into an anthropomorphic blue tide. Bhutan is the only country in the world with no traffic lights in its capital, Thimphu. Instead, police officers direct traffic with elegant, choreographed hand movements. This destination prefers human contact over cold technology. Don Francisco has the eccentric habit of traveling with a security double. Due to his immense fame across the Americas, he sometimes uses this person to distract fans so he can eat peacefully. He has maintained a work routine unchanged for more than 50 years. It shows how the greatest figure in Latin television manages privacy in a world that always recognizes him. Maluma travels with a portable air purifier that must be on 24 hours a day in his room. He fears bacteria and stale air, so he prefers controlled environments to protect his vocal cords. He also owns a watch collection worth several $million. Gatsby is a novel of 50,000 words written without using the letter E even once. It is an extreme lipogram in which author Ernest Vincent Wright avoided the most common vowel in English. The work took years to write to maintain total coherence and shows how self-imposed limits can force creativity into new territory. Diego Maradona had the eccentric habit of wearing 2 Rolex watches, one on each wrist. He explained that one showed the local time and the other Argentina's time, so he always felt connected to home. He also demanded heated toilets in his contracts in the Middle East. His life was a parade of excess and charisma that turned him into a human deity for millions of fans. Canelo Alvarez owns a collection of purebred horses treated like elite athletes. Each horse has its own stable with air conditioning and relaxing music to prevent stress from external noise. He spends millions on limited edition watches and cars he uses only once. The Viking 2 mission was the second spacecraft to land on Mars in search of life. It sent data on Martian soil composition, finding it rich in oxidized iron. The mission operated for nearly 4 years in the cold. It was essential to understanding that Mars once had liquid water flowing on its surface. Sofia Vergara has a closet so large it requires specialized software to manage her clothing. Each item is photographed and cataloged so she can assemble outfits from a tablet without entering the closet. She spends thousands of dollars each year on moisturizing creams imported from Europe. Little Richard had the eccentric habit of quitting rock music to become a preacher. In the middle of a successful tour, he threw his diamond rings into the ocean, saying rock was the devil's music. He left and returned to music repeatedly. His explosive personality and struggle between faith and spectacle made him a unique and wild figure. Bill Russell had the eccentric habit of vomiting before every important NBA game. He said that if he did not feel that level of nerves and nausea, he knew he was not ready to win. He used anxiety as physical fuel. His ritual shows that even the greatest athletes face intense psychological battles before success. The longest beard in the world reached a length of 17.4 feet on an Indian man. He had to wrap his beard around his body to walk without tripping. He cared for his facial hair as if it were a sacred relic. Daddy Yankee has an obsession with white sneakers, using a new pair every day. He cannot tolerate stains or creases, so he gives them away after a single workday. He travels with a team that cleans his jewelry every morning using special liquids. The Dawn mission was the first to orbit 2 different celestial bodies. It visited the asteroid Vesta and the dwarf planet Ceres, discovering bright salt deposits on its surface. The mission helped explain how rocky planets formed and proved that even asteroids can have ice volcanoes and complex active geology. The Tale of Genji is considered the first novel in human history written in the year 1000. It was written by Murasaki Shikibu, a woman of the Japanese court who detailed her character's psychology. It has more than 50 chapters and hundreds of interwoven poems. Miles Davis had the eccentric habit of performing with his back to the audience. He said it helped him focus on his band rather than the crowd's reaction. He changed his musical style every time he became famous. His difficult personality and obsession with sonic evolution made him a myth of modern art. Meta Sandiford Artes, formerly Ron Artes, changed his name to Meta World Peace. He once asked for a timeout during a game to drink cognac in the locker room. He was involved in the biggest fight in NBA history. His personal transformation toward peace and mental health is one of the strangest stories in sports. Pig blood chocolate is a traditional sweet in some regions of Eastern Europe and Asia. Fresh blood is used to create a silky texture and subtle metallic flavor that complements bitter cocoa. It is rich in iron and consumed as an energy remedy. It shows how cultures learn to waste nothing from animals by turning everything into food. Lionel Messi signed his first contract with FC Barcelona on a paper napkin. The club's sporting director was in such a hurry to secure the 13-year-old that he did not wait for official paper. That small piece of paper changed history and is now a relic. Karol G decorated her private jet with her album name in custom colors. She demands that the interior always smell like a specific vanilla fragrance to reduce flight stress. She travels with a security team that includes trained dogs. Her success allows her to create a home-like atmosphere miles above the ground where comfort is an absolute priority. Rooster combs are served in high-end Spanish cuisine as a delicacy with a unique cartilaginous texture. They are slowly cooked until tender, absorbing all the flavor of the stew. This food has gone from peasant fare to Michelin star menus. It is an ode to refined offal where ignored animal parts become a true gourmet experience. Formula One driver Niki Lauda returned to racing just 42 days after a crash in which he nearly burned to death. His lungs were damaged and his face bandaged, yet he put on his helmet to defend his championship lead. He is the ultimate symbol of overcoming physical pain in sports. Henry Cavendish was so shy that he communicated with servants only through written notes. Despite his social phobia, he was the scientist who discovered hydrogen and measured Earth's density with precision. He avoided any eye contact with other humans. Kiviak is a Greenlandic food consisting of 500 small birds fermented inside a sealskin. It is placed under a stone for 7 months until the birds liquefy and are eaten raw during winter. It is a vital source of vitamins in the Arctic, where vegetables do not grow. Shakira has the eccentric habit of walking barefoot almost everywhere, even in recording studios. She says it helps her feel connected to the earth and compose better, keeping her feet real on the ground. She is also a polyglot who speaks more than 5 languages fluently. Her eccentricity lies in biological simplicity, rejecting star protocol for a more organic life. The record for the most quarter-pounder burgers eaten in 1 minute is 3, achieved by Peter Sherwinski. This professional competitive eater had to chew and swallow every gram of meat and bread under strict Guinness supervision. The record shows the human esophagus's ability to process dense food at extreme speed. The record for the most people snapping fingers simultaneously is 12,215 in the United Kingdom. It was organized by a foundation to raise awareness about modern communication speed and teamwork. It produced a sharp rhythmic sound captured by high-sensitivity microphones. Ranch soda is a soft drink that imitates the flavor of ranch salad dressing. It includes notes of garlic, onion, sour cream, and herbs mixed with carbonated water and massive amounts of sugar. It is one of the strangest creations in the United States beverage industry. It is considered an extreme challenge for the human stomach because the brain cannot process bubbles combined with salty sauce flavor. Manuel Puig was an obsessive fan of Hollywood cinema, especially the divas of the 1940s. His eccentricity consisted of writing his novels as if they were film screenplays, projecting the scenes in his mind before writing them down. He used to say that he learned more about life by watching Greta Garbo movies than by reading philosophy books. He lived in many countries, but he always looked for old movie theaters to hide from the real world and feed his pop imagination. Agua de sapo is a traditional drink from Costa Rica and Panama made with ginger, lemon, and solid panela sugar. Although its name suggests something related to amphibian fauna, it is called that because of the dark and bubbly color the mixture takes on when it ferments. It is famous for its ability to hydrate field workers under the tropical sun. The record for the greatest number of body piercings belongs to Brazilian woman Elaine Davidson. She has had more than 9,000 piercings all over her body, including her face, tongue, and internal areas. She says she feels no pain and that her jewelry is part of her real skin. Carlos Fuentes had the eccentric habit of keeping several desks in his studio, each one dedicated to a different book. If he got blocked on a novel, he would simply stand up and move to the next desk to continue with an essay or a short story. He wrote by hand with a perfect handwriting that looked printed. Cat wine was a medicinal drink in Europe during the 17th century, made by distilling an entire cat in an alembic with herbs. It was believed that the animal's fluids helped cure melancholy and strengthen the nerves of people with mental illnesses. This drink is a reminder of how fauna was once seen as a source of magical chemical substances. Octavio Paz had the eccentricity of working at a circular desk that he designed especially for his studio. He claimed that the circular shape prevented ideas from crashing into corners and allowed his thinking to be cyclical and eternal. He was also passionate about labyrinths, which he visited all over the world to meditate. His obsession with spatial forms directly influenced the structure of his essays and his vision of real time in Mexico. Panda dung tea is one of the most expensive drinks in the world, grown in China using panda excrement as fertilizer. The inventor claims that since pandas only absorb 30% of the nutrients from bamboo, the rest remains in the fertilizer, enriching the tea. This drink can cost up to $3,175 per pound, making it an extreme and ecological luxury product. The record for the most soda cans opened by a parrot in 1 minute is 35, achieved by Zach the macaw. He used his beak to lift the tabs with a precision and speed that surpassed that of any average human. It is the result of years of training and the superior intelligence of this fauna. The Greek philosopher Chrysippus of Soli died from a fit of laughter after seeing his own donkey eat figs from a silver plate. It is said that the sage shouted to give the donkey a drink of pure wine to wash down the figs and laughed so hard that his heart stopped. It is one of the few recorded cases where extreme humor caused a fatal physical collapse. Snake gallbladder wine is consumed in southern China and consists of swallowing the raw gallbladder of a snake inside a shot of liquor. It is believed that this green and bitter fluid grants eagle vision and cures rheumatism, but it carries a high risk of real parasitic infections. It is a challenge for the human immune system, combining superstition with the danger of wild fauna. Austrian adventurer and inventor Franz Reichelt died after jumping from the Eiffel Tower while trying to test his own parachute suit. Despite his friends begging him to use a mannequin, he insisted that his faith in physics was total and that the invention would save aviators' lives. He fell to his death in front of a crowd and film cameras, dying instantly upon hitting the ground. Swedish King Adolf Fredrik died in 1771 from massive indigestion after eating a dinner of Herculean proportions. He consumed lobster, caviar, sauerkraut, herring, and 14 servings of his favorite dessert served in bowls of hot milk. He is known in history as the king who ate himself to death, collapsing his royal digestive system. Duck fat soda is an experimental drink created by a candy shop in the United States that uses chemical flavorings derived from animal lipids. The goal is to recreate the dense and oily flavor of duck confit in a sweet and carbonated amber-colored soda. It is considered a gastronomic gag designed to provoke disgust and intrigue in the human palate. Karoli Takac won 2 Olympic gold medals in shooting after learning to shoot with his left hand. He was an army sergeant whose right hand was destroyed by a defective grenade. He practiced in secret to return and defeat the best shooters in the world. Keanu Reeves donated 70% of his earnings from The Matrix to fund leukemia research. He did it secretly because his sister was fighting the disease, and he did not want the public to see it as a publicity act. He often travels by subway and gives expensive motorcycles to his stunt doubles. Howard Hughes bought a television network just to watch his favorite movies. If he fell asleep, he would call the station and order them to rewind the tape so he could see the scene he missed. He lived in a bubble where the outside world had to adapt to him. Hallucinogenic honey from Nepal is produced by bees that pollinate toxic rhododendron flowers. In small doses, it is medicinal, but in excess, it causes intense hallucinations and temporary muscle paralysis. It is collected by men who hang from cliffs at dizzying heights. It is one of the most dangerous and sought-after natural substances, where the risk of obtaining it is part of its real value. Laura Bozzo demands that her dressing room always be kept at exactly 75 degrees Fahrenheit. If the temperature varies by even 1 degree, she claims her voice changes tone, leading her to cancel recordings until it is adjusted. She also asks for the floor to be covered with new carpets in every city she visits. The blood of Saint Pantaleon is kept in an ampule in Madrid and liquefies every year. The phenomenon occurs on July 27th, when the solid blood turns liquid in front of thousands of witnesses. It has been studied without finding a clear physical cause. It is one of the oldest traditions in Spain, uniting faith with a mystery that challenges material science. The H. Moser and Size Swiss Madwatch wristwatch has a case made from real Swiss cheese. The cheese was hardened with composite resin to create a luxury piece that criticizes high prices. It sold for more than 1 million Swiss francs. It is a political statement about Swiss identity and absurd marketing in the watch industry. The Resonance Type 3 wristwatch uses no hands, and its dial is completely filled with oil. The oil eliminates crystal refraction, allowing the time to be read from any angle underwater. It uses magnets to move the disc through the liquid. It is a cutting-edge piece that looks digital, but is a purely mechanical and physical mechanism. The Sparrow Personal Commuter had 6 wheels and a fully asymmetrical cabin design. It was designed to be the ultimate city car, with a spare wheel integrated into the side door. It allowed the driver to enter from the front. It is an example of how microcars of the 1980s tried to reinvent the use of urban space. The Republic of Liberland is a micronation located in a no-man's land between Serbia. Founded by Vít Jedlička in 2015, its motto is "Live and Let Live." Basing its economy on cryptocurrencies, it is not officially recognized, but it has thousands of citizens. And it is a political experiment that seeks to create a libertarian state in a border zone forgotten by law. The algae lamp uses photosynthesis to generate light and absorb carbon dioxide at the same time. A single device can absorb the same amount of pollution as 150 trees in an urban environment. It works through a tank of living microalgae. It is a solution that combines home lighting with active resistance against global warming. Fahrenheit. 451 by Ray Bradbury is an unusual work of literature that predicted earbuds. In 1953, the author described seashells that people wore in their ears to listen to music and radio. It tells of a future where books are burned to prevent people from thinking. Marco Antonio Salas, El Buki, has the eccentric habit of not cutting his hair for decades. He believes his long hair is the source of his inspiration, and that if he cuts it, he will lose his ability to write poems. He cares for his hair with natural oils that he personally commissions to be prepared in the countryside. Ricardo Montaner had a private chapel built in his home to pray before composing. He does not allow anyone to enter that space wearing shoes and demands absolute silence throughout the property when he is inside. He claims his most successful ballads have been dictated to him during moments of meditation. It is the union of spirituality and commercial success, where sacred space becomes the office of an elite artist. The cardboard bicycle is capable of supporting an adult and resisting heavy rain. It costs only $10 to manufacture and uses no metal parts, which prevents it from being easily stolen. It is fully recyclable and durable for years of use. It aims to revolutionize transportation in developing countries through cheap and accessible materials. The longest Lego bridge in the world was built in England, using 260,000 pieces. It measures more than 98 feet long and can support the weight of a person walking across its structure. It took months to calculate the tension of the plastic. It is a feat that proves toys can be used for large-scale civil engineering challenges. Napoleon's hourglass contained diamond dust instead of common sand. It is said that the emperor used it to measure the exact length of his baths and plan his battles. This object symbolized that for him, time was more valuable than jewels. The Jacob and Kobigati Kiran wristwatch contains a functional miniature W16 engine inside. By pressing a button, the 16 steel pistons move and the crankshaft turns, imitating the real car engine. This invention, valued at $300,000, is a feat of micromechanics that unites motor engineering with time. Bhutan is the only country in the world that has completely banned the sale of plastic bags. It is also one of the few nations where modern architecture is required to imitate ancient style. It protects its traditions above economic development. Mexican singer Anaí has a fascination with fairies and magical beings, claiming she believes in their real existence. At her wedding, it is said she included hidden details in her dress, symbolizing the protection of these forest beings. She has dedicated entire rooms of her home to collecting figurines and books about mythology. Guillermo del Toro bought a second house in Los Angeles, solely to house his collection of monsters and books. He calls it the Bleak House, and it is filled with life-size statues, secret passages, and an enormous horror library. He works in this house to surround himself with the aesthetics he later brings into his films. The paper battery uses carbon nanotubes to store electrical energy. It is so flexible that it can be bent or cut with scissors without losing its ability to power small devices. It is biodegradable and extremely lightweight for transport. It promises a future where food packaging can have integrated screens powered by its own cardboard. Prince had the eccentric habit of having his own purple color officially registered. He painted his entire Paisley Park mansion in that shade and forbade anyone from looking him in the eyes during rehearsals. He recorded thousands of songs that were never released. Dennis Rodman married himself dressed as a bride to promote his biography. He appeared in a white wedding dress and a blonde wig inside a limousine, defying all gender norms of the era. He was capable of grabbing 20 rebounds per game with neon-colored hair. Frida Kahlo had a very unusual pet, a deer named Granizzo. She even painted her own face on the body of a wounded deer in one of her most famous works to express her pain. She lives surrounded by monkeys, parrots, and Soloitzkintel dogs in her home. Mike Tyson had the eccentric habit of using a solid gold mouthguard during his fights. He spent millions on Bengal tigers and lived in a mansion with a room dedicated exclusively to pigeons. This character found peace caring for birds after his fierce battles. The silver hand of Saint Stephen is a metal gauntlet that contains real bones. It is located in Hungary and was used for centuries to crown and bless the kings of the nation. It is a jewel of medieval sacred metalwork. Paramagnetic paint allows a car to change color at the press of a button. It uses polymer particles that react to an electric current, rearranging themselves to reflect light. It can shift from red to blue in less than 1 second. It promises a revolution in personalized design where an object's color depends on mood. Glenn Gould had the eccentric habit of always traveling with his own old folding chair. It did not matter if he played at Carnegie Hall, he refused to use any seat other than the one made by his father. He wore gloves and a coat even in summer. His extreme perfectionism led him to abandon live performance and record only in the solitude of the studio. Chef Julia Child worked for United States Intelligence Services (OSS) before becoming a cooking star. She invented a shark repellent that protected underwater explosives from being bitten by curious fauna. She applied the same military precision to her famous French recipes. Larry Ellison bought 98% of the Hawaiian island of Lanai to create his own utopia. He installed hydroponic farms and renewable energy systems to make the island fully self-sufficient. He lives like a modern king in his own tropical ecosystem. Jesse Owens won 4 gold medals at the Berlin Olympic Games of 1936 under the gaze of Adolf Hitler. He wore handmade shoes by Adi Dassler, founder of Adidas, who secretly delivered them to him in the Olympic Village. He destroyed the myth of Aryan supremacy through the speed of one man. Marilyn Monroe used to wash her face 15 times a day because she had an obsessive fear of skin blemishes. She applied thick layers of petroleum jelly before makeup to achieve the ethereal glow that defined her image. She was an extremely intelligent woman, trapped inside a sexual icon. The bones of the Crystal Cave are human remains found in Mexico. They are covered in mineral formations due to the extreme heat and humidity of the Neka Cave. They look like a natural sculpture of crystal and death. The Ulysses Nardin Hour Striker wristwatch features gold figures that strike bells. When marking hours or quarters, the automatons on the dial move rhythmically to the sound of metal. This invention, valued at $100,000, revives the tradition of tower clocks in miniature form. San Marino has more cars per capita than any other nation in the world. Despite its tiny size, its passion for motors has turned it into a paradise for collectors. It is one of the richest and most stable republics in Europe. The graphene engine uses sunlight to generate direct mechanical movement. Graphene sheets expand and contract when hit by photons acting like artificial muscles. It requires no chemical fuel, only radiant solar energy. It promises a future of clean propulsion where the sun is the only gas station needed. The Messenger mission was the first to orbit the planet Mercury. It withstood extreme solar heat to reveal that the small planet has a massive iron core. This journey discovered that water ice exists at Mercury's poles. It was a feat of thermal engineering that allowed us to understand the world closest to our star. The longest human domino chain involved more than 1,200 people using mattresses. Each person fell onto the next, creating a chain reaction that lasted several minutes. It broke the record inside a giant shopping mall. It shows how collective play can create massive visual spectacles using common objects. The Dice Man by Luke Reinhardt tells the story of someone who decides everything by chance. The protagonist rolls dice to choose every action, from what to eat to committing crimes or loving someone. It became a cult book because of its total nihilism. It is a disturbing journey into the loss of free will in favor of absolute and mathematical chaos. The Chalice of Doña Urraca has been identified by some as the Holy Grail. It is composed of 2 Roman agate cups joined by a structure of gold and precious stones. It dates back to the 11th century and belonged to Leonese royalty. Recent research suggests the stone cup matches descriptions of the chalice from the Last Supper. Bill Gates drinks water that has been recycled directly from human waste to demonstrate his technology. He funded a machine that converts waste into drinking water and electricity in just minutes for developing countries. He seeks radical solutions to the global sanitation crisis. His act of drinking the water on camera removed the taboo around recycling vital fluids on the planet. The 24-karat gold pizza from Industry Kitchen restaurant in New York cost $2,700. It includes Stilton cheese from England, Alma's caviar from the Caspian sea white truffles, and is covered in sheets of pure gold. It must be ordered 48 hours in advance due to its rare ingredients. It is a dish designed for record-breaking and spectacle, where luxury is chewed and digested as an ephemeral experience. Tuna eye is a common food in Japan, where the giant eye of a tuna is served boiled. It tastes like squid or octopus and is surrounded by fat and muscle, considered the tastiest part by locals. It is rich in omega-3 and sold in supermarkets as an everyday item. Did you know there was a heavyweight world champion who could also give you a class with references? Vitaly Klitschko did not just throw punches, he had a PhD, as if instead of ding ding, you heard APA citation. In the ring, he mixed brain and muscle, proving you can think and punch at the same time. Basically, Dr. Iron Fists, but with a framed diploma. Meet Paulo Coelho, the writer who does not start a book without first walking, as if he were fulfilling a promise. He does hundreds of miles on the Camino de Santiago to unlock ideas, as if stories lived in the caves. And for extra drama, he performs fire rituals before handing in manuscripts. If the book does not leave him sweating, for him it has no soul. Discover José Guadalupe Posada, the man who drew death with so much style that he ended up immortalizing himself without knowing it. He died poor, never imagining that his Catrinas would become the global icon of the Day of the Dead. He portrayed rich and poor as skeletons to remind them that in the end we all end up in skeleton mode. And the ironic punchline? He was buried in a common grave. Have you ever laughed so hard that you ran out of air? Chrysippus, a Greek philosopher, took that to the extreme. They say he died laughing after seeing a donkey eating figs. The scene seemed so absurd that his body said, "This is as far as we go," and his heart collapsed. In the 1950s, someone looked at a car and said, "What if we make it nuclear?" The nuclear-powered car promised to travel thousands of miles on uranium, as if parking were the same as plugging in a toaster. Spoiler, it stayed as a model because a tiny failure could turn your grocery run into world news. Pure atomic optimism. Meet Julio Cortázar, the writer who listened to boxing the way others listen to classical music. He loved the rhythm of fights and used it as structure for his stories, as if every jab were a paragraph break. To relax, he played the trumpet a bit loosely because jazz cleared his head of words. Tall, strange, and playful, he looked like a librarian from Mars. Would you dare to drink a soda that tastes like dog breath? Yes, it exists. Dog breath soda is sold as a joke in novelty shops in the United States. It is sugary water with a chemical aroma designed to make your face say, "Why do I hate myself?" It is used for dares and prank gifts that end friendships. Disgust industry, perfect business. Discover Horacio Quiroga, the Uruguayan who went into the Misiones jungle as if civilization gave him allergies. He built his own furniture and boats, lived alongside animals and observed them to write intense stories. He had a dark obsession with death and tools and spent months in isolation. Literary genius with a wild heart, he preferred fauna over human gossip. Did you know there is a ring that looks like it came out of an epic movie, but is completely real? Joan of Arc's ring, made of brass and engraved with Jesus Maria, was like her pocket spiritual shield in the middle of war. Years later, it was auctioned for almost $500,000, as if faith came with a luxury price tag. From the girl who changed history, few objects remain. Before taking off to the moon, the Apollo 11 crew did something very human. They signed autographs like rock stars. The idea was that if they did not come back, their families could sell them because they could not even get life insurance for such a brutal trip. Imagine conquering space while worrying about your wallet. Fame is a financial parachute, NASA edition. Discover the Gate of the Giants at the Temple of Jupiter in Lebanon, a place where stones go into "I will not move even with magic mode." There are blocks of about 800 tons, the trilithon, arranged as if someone had a divine crane. No one knows for sure how they were lifted and transported, which sparked myths of giants and pre-flood superhumans. Archaeology 1, Mystery 10. Can you imagine your heart having its own passport? Chopin's heart is kept in a jar filled with cognac inside a church in Warsaw, like an emotional capsule with a lid. His sister carried it hidden under her clothes from Paris to fulfill his wish to return home, even if it was in VIP organ format. It was analyzed and confirmed what was suspected: tuberculosis, with a legendary relic ending. Meet President Lyndon B. Johnson and his ultimate uncle with infinite power hobby. He owned an amphibious car and used it to scare guests. He would take them for a ride, speed toward a lake, and shout the brakes do not work, enjoying their panic until the car floated like an elegant duck. He managed the nuclear era, but his fun was the classic scare prank. Simple humor, strange engineering, traumatized guests. Did you know there is a plant that is not for selfies? It is for snack time. Attenborough's pitcher plant is so large it can digest rats, with an acidic liquid that works like a disciplined stomach. It was found in the highlands of the Philippines, where nature keeps secrets like hidden downloadable content. A friendly reminder that the planet still has technologies that look at you and say, "I run this place." Discover Leonora Carrington, full surrealist and chef of the impossible. She cooked magical dinners with squid ink, petals, and the whole vibe of a gourmet spell. For her, the kitchen was real-time art, capable of changing perception like a painting you can eat. She lived in Mexico surrounded by cats and crows, treating them as spiritual guides with feathers and attitude. Her life was a mystical carnival where imagination was the main course. Did you know that in 1816 the world had a year without summer, as if the sun took a vacation without notice? The eruption of Tambora filled the sky with ash and dimmed the light, and people survived on whatever they could find, even horses and grass. Apocalypse menu mode. In that dark and depressing climate, Mary Shelley was inspired to write Frankenstein. A volcano sneezes and literature changes forever. Discover the Phaistos disc, a clay-voiced note with symbols stamped in a spiral that nobody has managed to decipher. It is as if someone invented printing thousands of years before Gutenberg and then said, "I am done. Good luck with the message." Worse still, several symbols appear nowhere else. 0 clues, 0 dictionary. An archaeological mystery that laughs in the face of any modern translator. Meet the most famous accident in chemistry, Albert Hofmann and LSD, a molecule that slipped into history almost uninvited. He absorbed a tiny amount and experienced the first recorded trip. Colors, shapes, reality juggling. That episode ended up influencing psychiatry and 20th century culture like a pebble that triggers an avalanche. Moral: sometimes science surprises you. Tiger bone wine sounds like a movie potion, but it is a real practice tied to traditional medicine and the idea of a miracle cure for rheumatism. The problem is that it involves parts of a protected animal. It is illegal and still exists through a black market where a fortune is paid. It is a sad example of how superstition can push majestic predators toward extinction. Tradition versus conservation is a hard fight, and the tiger should not pay the price. Did you know Pedro Infante was not only a film idol but also a total flying fanatic? He logged almost 3,000 hours as a pilot, as if between movies he cleared his head literally. Fate was cruel. He died piloting his own aircraft in an accident in Merida. He left the perfect mix for legend: charisma, speed, and tragedy. In boxing, there is a story that hits harder than a hook. The Fight of the Orphans, linked to Max Baer and Primo Carnera. Baer had lived the horror of a rival dying in the ring, and later used his earnings to help the deceased fighter's children. Yes, brutal fists on the outside, huge conscience on the inside. A rare and human reminder that even in violence, empathy can appear. Discover Odorama. Movies, but with your nose included and zero shame. You were given a card to scratch and sniff, and when a number appeared on screen, you scratched and smelled everything from flowers to garbage, synced with the scene. John Waters used it in Polyester to make the experience as bizarre as it was unforgettable. Basically, cheap 4D cinema with the scent of chaos. Meet Joan Miro, the artist who punished his paintings like misbehaving students. He left them facing the wall for years if they did not behave well. He said painting had to mature, as if the canvas needed to reflect on its actions. The wildest part is that he could return a decade later and add a single line that changed everything. Teacher-level patience. Simple to look at, complex like the human mind. Did you know that inventor Thomas Migley Jr. had a dark humor ending straight out of a cruel screenplay? Because of polio, he designed a system of pulleys to move in bed and ended up strangled by his own invention. The irony is that he was also linked to leaded gasoline, meaning he harmed the planet and then his own technology came back for him. Total genius with a deeply tragic and personal twist. Meet the 8-wheeled car of 1911, the most ambitious attempt to turn a car into a flying carpet with extra wheels. The idea was to distribute weight like a train car, so the ride would be smooth and stable, zero bumps, zero drama. The problem was that it was so long that turning a normal corner felt like parking a bus in a hallway. Result: massive commercial failure and an eternal lesson that more parts are not always better. Discover Isabel Allende in her writer ritual with a sacred calendar. She starts all her books on January 8th, no exceptions. It began because the House of the Spirits was started that day as a letter to her dying grandfather, and it stuck as a magic date. It is as if inspiration had a fixed yearly appointment. Sometimes success is built with talent and with a well-placed superstition. Did you know there is a beer made with yeast taken from a human beard? Beard Beer by Rogue Ales uses wild yeast living in the brewmaster's beard, as if his face were a portable lab. Some people feel instant disgust and others see it as high-risk craft art. The incredible part is that it ferments and can give fruity notes, meaning the beard is working overtime. Meet the Borgia Codex, an Aztec book that looks like a sacred destiny comic, full of rituals, cosmology, and symbols. It is made of treated deer skin and unfolds like a screen, as if knowledge came in accordion format. It survived when many manuscripts were destroyed, making it a rare window into that world. Fascinating and powerful, like looking at the mental map of a civilization. The Mitchell Hedges crystal skull is the perfect object to say this is too beautiful not to have a legend. It was said to be Maya and carved from pure quartz in a single piece, as if made with magic and infinite patience. But modern analyses point to European industrial tools from the 19th century, more workshop than temple. Still, it keeps captivating everyone. Mystery, beauty, and pop culture in an unbeatable combo. Do ghost ships give you chills? The SS Bechimo was abandoned in 1931 after being trapped in Arctic ice, but it did not sink and kept appearing for decades. Explorers and locals spotted it as if it were patrolling alone, surviving storms without a crew. They say it drifted for about 38 years, as if it had a secret mission. And the best or worst part, nobody knows where it is today. Did you know that in Nevada there is a geyser born from a human mistake that turned into alien art? Fly Geyser appeared when a well was drilled in 1964, and instead of being fixed, it started spewing hot water nonstop. Minerals and algae built a colorful mound that looks like an Instagram filter in Planet Mars mode. On top of that, it is private property, making it the desert VIP. Beautiful, strange, and hard to see. Meet the most ostentatious typewriter in literary espionage, Ian Fleming's 24-karat gold-plated machine. He finished his first novel and said, "I will celebrate properly with Bond villain-level luxury." With that golden beauty, he wrote the saga of the coolest agent on the planet, as if each key fired a martini. It was later auctioned for a fortune, because of course, even objects wanted to be 007. Can you imagine a car so incredible that it turned into a phrase? The Duesenberg Model J was so powerful and luxurious that it inspired the saying, "It's a doozy," meaning this is insanely good. It was the favorite of Hollywood and of people whose wallets did not recognize the word moderation. On top of that, it was custom built like a formal suit with wheels, so every owner had a one-of-a-kind piece. Seeing one today feels like looking at the peak of the before everything got complicated era. Discover the flying duck orchid, a flower that literally disguises itself as a duck to survive. Yes, the plant does cosplay, and with strategy, it attracts insects that get confused. Try to court the flower and boom, they pollinate it by accident. It is so hard to grow outside Australia that seeing it in the wild feels like finding a legendary Pokemon. Fernando Botero did not only paint and sculpt volume, he also seemed to have a volume radar for collecting art. It is said he liked works that dialogued with his style, as if his painting said only curves allowed. The best part is that he donated a huge amount to the Botero Museum, so anyone could enjoy it for free. His generosity was as big as his figures. Huge art, huge heart. Velcro was born because someone stared at a burr stuck to clothing and thought there is hidden technology here. The wild part is that this countryside idea ended up having microscopic versions used even in surgery. Instead of classic sutures, some applications help bind tissues like ultra-precise tiny hooks. Moral: a walk in the countryside can end up saving lives in a hospital. Can you imagine saying goodbye to a loved one with a ritual that feels from another universe? In some Amazon tribes, there is ash wine where the ashes of the deceased are mixed into a drink to symbolize that their spirit and wisdom continue living in others. It is not about shock value, but a cultural way of mourning and continuity very different from the Western view. It is intense, yes, but it also speaks of love and belonging. The community saying you are not gone completely. Did you know Thalia was given a legend worthy of a sci-fi soap opera? Rumors say she had ribs removed for a smaller waist and even kept them in a jar, and she herself has joked about it countless times. Between jokes, memes, and pop mythology, the story grew like a media snowball. Perfect proof that fame sometimes creates stories stronger than any anatomy. Meet the chilling match of death of 1942. Ukrainian prisoners playing soccer against Nazi soldiers, with life as both prize and punishment. It is said that even knowing the risk, they chose to compete and win out of dignity, as if every goal were a scream of resistance. The story ended with brutal repression and deportations to camps, turning many players into tragic symbols. Their sport stopped being a game and became pure courage. Can you imagine a giant computer trying to think like a neuron? In 1958, the perceptron appeared, a massive machine that learned to recognize shapes like a technological baby, saying, "That is a square, I think." It was one of the first serious steps toward modern artificial intelligence. Basically the great-great-grandfather of hello, I am talking to you in 2025. A simple idea that opened the door to a revolution. The death linked to the Segway feels like a cruel joke of fate. Jimmy Heselden, the businessman who bought the company, fell off a cliff while riding one. It was a real and ironic accident. A vehicle designed to keep balance, losing the fight against gravity. It happened while he was using it on difficult terrain, as if trying to prove how safe it was. Reminder: technology can be brilliant, but the world does not forgive distractions. Discover the Pope Mobile, the capsule car that mixes faith and armor like a vehicle of divine protection. After the attack on John Paul II, the concept evolved into a bulletproof glass bubble so the Pope could greet people without being exposed. It went from simple jeeps to elegant tank-like vehicles engineered for total security. It is literally a vehicle where visibility and survival are always negotiating. Did you know that in Madrid there is a famous relic because it changes state on specific dates? The blood of St. Pantaleon, according to tradition, liquefies each year inside an ampule, guarded by nuns, and draws crowds who come to witness the phenomenon. For some it is a miracle, for others a physical mystery with no clear explanation. Whatever it is, people have been staring at that little vial for centuries like it is a season finale. The voyage of the St. Louis in 1939 is one of those stories that leaves a knot in your chest. A ship with about 900 Jewish refugees searching for safe harbor and receiving no after no. While the ship stayed afloat, politics closed doors across the American continent, forcing them to return to a Europe in chaos. Sometimes borders weigh more than the ocean. A harsh lesson about bureaucracy, fear, and lives on hold. Meet Jellyfish Lake in Palau, a place where you swim among millions of jellyfish, and surprisingly, they almost do not sting. Having lived isolated from predators for a very long time, their defense weakened, and humans can float among them like in a gelatin dream. It is a rare natural sanctuary, like a marine spa with transparent creatures. A reminder that environment can rewrite a species' instincts. Did you know there is a relic that was literally stolen by biting? Legend says a devoted woman at maximum fan level took advantage of a moment and bit off a finger of St. Francis Xavier to keep it as a souvenir. Yes, sacred merchandise, extreme edition. Today it is preserved in Goa as proof that fanaticism can turn faith into an action movie. Sometimes body parts travel in stranger ways than the saint himself. Meet the water clock of Ctesibius, a Greek invention that makes you think, and I complain about Wi-Fi. It used a constant flow of water to move gears and mark hours with astonishing precision. It even had mechanical bird whistles, as if time came with a fake nature soundtrack. It is the elegant grandfather of modern automatic clocks without batteries or apps. Just water gravity and a lot of ingenuity. Discover the passion flower passiflora, the plant that looks designed by an artist with too much imagination. Jesuits saw symbols of the Passion of Christ in its parts and used it as floral catechism, as if botany came with a sermon. In real life, it is a perfect machine to attract specific pollinators, pure natural engineering. It is beautiful, complex, and dramatic, like nature knew how to pose for the camera. Culture gave it meaning. The plant just wanted to survive. Francisco Toledo turned art into a shout. He made kites with the faces of the 43 disappeared students and lifted them into the sky. He used wind and paper as protest technology so memory would not stay on the ground or in oblivion. He was also a defender of wildlife and Oaxacan culture, living with a simplicity that contrasted with his fame. His message was clear. If it hurts, it must be named, and if it is named, it resists. Art that does not decorate, it pushes. Did you know the Lisbon earthquake of 1755 happened during All Saints' Day Mass and created a scene that shattered minds and beliefs? Churches collapsed over worshipers, while some brothels built with better wood stood firm. The shock was so intense that many people entered a crisis of faith, asking, "How can this be?" That disaster pushed ideas that later fed modern seismology, a day when the earth shook not only the ground, but the way the world was explained. Discover the stone spheres of Costa Rica, hundreds of almost perfect balls in the jungle, as if someone played prehistoric billiards. They range from the size of a ball to more than 6 feet across, and there is still no full agreement on how they were made without modern metal tools. Of course, this sparked legends of super advanced civilizations and lost mathematical secrets. Today, they are a World Heritage Site and remain the roundest. How did they do that in archaeology? Mystery shaped like a perfect circle. Beaver gland wine sounds like a bar joke, but it was real in the past. They used castrium, a secretion from beavers, for flavoring, and even as medicine for countless ailments, from pain to hysteria. Basically, ancient pharmacy mixed with very strange cocktail culture. Today, those aromas are replaced with synthetic versions because thanks science. Still, the anecdote remains. Wild chemistry and humans have always had an intense relationship. Meet Juan Gabriel in his level of portable home. He had a private plane with a bedroom decorated exactly like his house. No matter the country, he wanted to feel inside his world, as if peace of mind had official decor. He even traveled with his own chef to keep the taste of his homeland, because the show can change, but the palate does not negotiate. His life was color drama, and big love turned into shared spectacle. An artist who made luxury a way of feeling human. Meet the final farewell of Fernando Botero. The master of volume and Latin symbol chose to rest in a small Italian town called Pietrasanta. There he learned to master marble and bronze, and wanted to remain close to the artisans who helped give body to his dreams. It is like saying, "My art was born with you, and my rest too." His passing left 2 lands joined by mourning, Latin America and that Italy of workshops and marble dust. Can you imagine dying because of a distracted eagle? It happened to Aeschylus, the Greek playwright. An eagle dropped a tortoise on his head after mistaking his bald scalp for a rock. The bird wanted to crack the shell, and instead ended a genius in a second, like a macabre joke of fate. It is the star case of fatality by perception error, Nature Edition. Moral: wildlife forgives no one, not even the important ones. We reach installment 1520, and I present the jewel car. The gold car of some Arab sheikhs covered in white gold and diamonds. It is not transportation. It is look at me shine on wheels, as if the desert sun had competition. Of course it needs constant security, because touching it without permission must be a premium sin. Extreme luxury, when a vehicle stops being a car and becomes a modern relic. Discover the Buddha finger? A relic kept at Feynman Temple in China inside 7 gold caskets like a video game level treasure. It is believed to belong to the historical Buddha and to have survived wars, persecutions, and centuries of human chaos. For many, it is tangible faith. For archaeologists, a key piece to understand religious history. Philosophy turned into matter guarded at final boss level. Did you know Leonardo da Vinci also thought like a programmer without electricity? His music box uses rotating drums with pins that can be programmed to play automatic melodies. It is like an analog computer storing musical instructions centuries before flash drives. Da Vinci saw the future and said, "I will build it with wood and metal, thank you." Automation before the word existed. Meet the Delahaye 165, a car so elegant it looks like liquid metal wearing an Art Deco suit. Its wheels are covered by the body to improve aerodynamics, as if it were a sculpture that decided to race. The wildest part is that only 2 were made, so seeing one is like meeting a mechanical unicorn. It comes from an era when humans designed machines with the soul of artwork. Jennifer Lawrence shared something so human it makes you laugh nervously. When she is truly scared, her body triggers an alarm and she can pee. Yes, even a star has biological reactions that fame or glamour cannot hide. It is panic in its pure state, no editing, no filters, no red carpet to cover it. A beautiful reminder that the body always holds the remote control. Did you know Maria Felix did not wear jewelry? She wore luxury animals tamed by Cartier. She commissioned a crocodile necklace in gold and diamonds that could be separated into 2 brooches, like the creature had elegant transformer mode. She also requested emerald eyes so it looked alive because she did not want to shine, she wanted to intimidate with glamour. Her style was pure power, aesthetic technology, and commanding presence. Plastic was born almost by accident when Leo Baekeland searched for a replacement for shellac and ended up creating Bakelite. The incredible thing is that it was the first synthetic material that did not melt with heat, meaning finally something that holds. From there, everything exploded. Radios, telephones, and thousands of everyday objects we no longer think about. A chemical mistake that became the backbone of the modern age. Basically, the world said, okay, now everything will be plastic. Would you dare try a mezcal with an insect power-up? In some rural areas of Mexico, there is ant wine or mezcal, where ant extract is added for an electric flavor. They say formic acid delivers an intense kick that wakes your system like a lemon slap. It is tradition, desert, and fauna in a bottle altogether. A toast that sounds strange, but in its homeland has logic and character. Meet Beyoncé's pre-stage ritual. She prays with her team as if assembling an invisible shield. For her performing drains energy, so that moment is her spiritual technology for protection before stepping out to dominate. On top of that, she controls every camera angle like directing a secret mission. Nothing is left to chance. Massive talent plus total control equals unstoppable presence. The queen does not enter, she deploys. The plaster gloves fight is the darkest face of boxing. Luis Resto versus Billy Collins Jr., a fraud where violence came with cheating. Padding was removed from the gloves, and the hand wraps were hardened with chemicals, turning fists into stones in disguise. The damage was severe and destroyed careers and lives as if the ring became a laboratory of horror. A harsh reminder, when cheating enters, the sport breaks. José Clemente Orozco was so demanding that if a work did not feel powerful enough, he destroyed it without mercy. Even after losing his left hand, he still had a will of steel and used fire and acid to erase anything that did not convince him. His murals do not decorate, they shout, human pain painted wall size. He lived fighting his physical limits and beating them with creative fury. Did you know that Heraclitus, the philosopher of everything flows, had an ending so absurd it sounds like a cruel joke? He tried to cure his dropsy by covering himself in cow manure to dry his humors, a home remedy turned disaster. Between heat, lack of air, and a terrible idea, he ended up suffocating during the experiment. Total irony, the man of change got trapped in the worst medical technology imaginable. Sometimes thought flies high, and the body brings you crashing down. Did you know the Lamborghini Miura was basically the moment the car said, "I am putting on a cape"? It invented the idea of the mid-engine supercar moving the heart to the center, so driving felt like taming a bull in a tuxedo. Everything was inspired by Lamborghini's bullfighting mystique. Power, elegance, and a touch of "do not stare too long." Stories say even Frank Sinatra loved it, because some people drive and others make history. Meet Luis Miguel in premium bubble mode. Rumors say he travels with hospital-grade water and air purifiers. He does not let a suspicious molecule get near those vocal cords as if they were World Heritage. Imagine opening a hotel window and someone saying, "No, that air is unfiltered." Total environment control. When you have resources, even oxygen has a protocol. Did you know dynamite was born because Alfred Nobel wanted to tame nitroglycerin without being sent to greet his ancestors? By mixing it with diatomaceous earth fossil powder, he created a much more stable paste, still explosive but manageable. He became a millionaire and later created the Nobel Prizes, as if saying, "Okay, I will balance my karma." Thanks to that idea, tunnels, canals, and massive works were built with an invention that started as "I need this not to blow up in my face." Discover the most show business level eccentricity. It is said Taylor Swift insured her legs for tens of millions of dollars. In her world, moving on stage is not just dancing, it is work towards business and spectacle. It is like insuring a work of art that walks, jumps, and shines under lights. Anatomy turned into a high-risk asset, glamour with an insurance policy. Have you ever wondered why fencing outfits are all white as if they were going to an elegant party with swords? Before electric sensors, hits were marked with ink. The tip was dipped and bam, the mark showed the strike. White was the perfect canvas to see who hit whom without debate. Today's suits keep the tradition, even though technology does the talking now. Fashion with historical memory literally stained. Meet David Alfaro Siqueiros. The man who did not paint walls, he turned them into stages. In the March of Humanity at the Polyforum, he used sculptural painting so forms burst out and surround you as if the mural wanted to pull you inside history. It is not just art, it is architecture, politics, and constant wow at a massive scale. A work that looks at you and says you are not here to pass through, you are here to feel. The death of Charles Rolls feels like the tragic chapter of a man who loves speed in every form. Co-founder of Rolls-Royce, he became an aviation pioneer and ended up in one of the first British plane crashes when his aircraft tail failed during a demonstration. Strong irony, he perfected elegance on the ground, and the sky charged him for exploring the new. Sometimes history moves forward because someone dares, even when the risk is real. Did you know there was a Formula One car with 6 wheels that looked like it said, "If 2 is good, 6 is better"? The Tyrrell P34 had 4 small front wheels to cut air and grip corners like a cat on a curtain. And it was not just a wild experiment, it actually won a Grand Prix. We reach installment 1560 with this rare beast proof that innovation sometimes comes from madness. The track saw it and said, "Okay, this exists." Meet the Aeolipile of Hero, a tiny steam machine from the 1st century that worked as a toy in Alexandria, while the future pulled its hair out. It used the same principle that centuries later would power factories and trains. But back then, it was "look how funny it spins with steam." It is like finding a smartphone in the year 100 and using it as a paperweight. Technology ahead of its time, victim of a society not ready yet. The Porsche 917 was so fast that its own drivers looked at it like, "This thing wants to kill me." With its flat 12 engine at Le Mans, it turned the driver into a missile with a steering wheel and courage. It dominated races and today is a legendary, extremely valuable piece that smells like history and adrenaline. It represents the moment engineering outran the nervous system. Terrifying beauty in race mode. Discover the bee orchid Ophrys apifera, the plant that literally catfishes in nature. Its petals imitate the shape and smell of a female bee, and the male falls for it trying to court a flower. In that attempt, he pollinates it by accident like a romantic messenger fooled by botanical perfume. It is perfect evolutionary hacking, flora using chemistry and acting. Nature scores 10 out of 10 in manipulation. Steve Jobs applied obsession to everything, including his body. He could eat only carrots or apples for weeks. He believed it would prevent body odor and allow him to skip deodorant. And yes, stories say he even turned slightly orange from excess beta-carotene. It is minimalism mode but human biology edition. Creative genius with robot-level rigid routines. When your mind runs on simplicity, even diet becomes software. Seagull wine is an extreme Arctic tradition. A dead bird is fermented in a bottle with water under the sun to create a fast alcoholic effect. It sounds like an internet challenge, but it was a solution where distilling was nearly impossible. They say the smell is brutal, the kind that knocks your soul out. Culturally, it is survival. Nothing is wasted in a harsh environment. Cuisine of whatever exists in full wild mode. Meet Nicolas Cage, the man who decided his diet depends on how animals have sex. He says he only eats meat from species that mate with dignity, like birds and fish, and avoids pork or beef because he dislikes their romantic style. On top of that, he spends fortunes on rare relics, like dinosaur skulls or castles. His life is a museum of inexplicable yet fascinating decisions. Would you dare try a dish that comes with poetry, bagpipes, and organs? Scottish haggis mixes sheep heart lung and liver minced and cooked inside the animal's stomach like medieval sausage with no fear. It is celebrated at national events with pride as ancestral power food. For some, it is delicious, for others, a test of culinary bravery. Pure tradition, strong, historic, and unfiltered. Did you know Salvador Dali turned his mustache into a sweet fly trap? He coated it with honey to attract insects and said the tickling on his skin sparked surreal ideas, as if inspiration arrived with wings and buzz. Basically, brainstorming fauna edition, straight on the face. Dali did not just paint paintings, he painted personas, and he was the first one. His life was constant performance, and his death closed a very strange chapter of art. Meet the hormigas culonas, the Colombian snack that looks at you and says, "I am protein crunch and tradition." They are toasted and eaten as a snack and collected during the rainy season when the queens emerge like nature opening a limited time stand. In Santander, they are considered aphrodisiac, so you snack and feel powerful. A rural luxury proving insects can be gourmet, crunchy, strange, and proudly local. Jai alai, or chesta punta, is the sport where the ball moves so fast your brain arrives late. Using a wicker basket as an extended arm, players fire shots that have been dangerous enough to cause on-court tragedies. It was huge in casinos before digital betting overshadowed it, but it remains a wild dance of reflexes. Watching it is like seeing a whip duel with a ball. Blink and you already lost. Can you imagine writing with your heart racing literally? Honoré de Balzac drank up to 50 cups of black coffee a day to write for 15 hours straight as if creativity ran on premium fuel. He said coffee was gunpowder for the brain, and his life was a constant yes to caffeine. The problem is obvious. That much spark eventually burns the engine, and his heart paid the price. Genius fueled by excess with the bill included. Did you know Ted Williams became a futuristic relic? His head was preserved through cryogenics as if paused, waiting for tomorrow's technology to bring him back. It is the human dream of beating death with science sports edition. Fascinating and controversial. A frozen archive of real talent, The bat stopped, but the story did not. Joe Frazier turned an accident with a pig into the origin of one of boxing's most feared left hooks. As a child, a blow from that animal damaged his arm and left it at a strange angle, a mark that later became a weapon. He transformed pain and twisted bone into knockout technology, pure biography turned fist. It is one of those stories where life hits you and you learn to hit back harder. Fate gave him a wound and he made it legend. The Big Papa slice is a giant slice of pizza measuring 26 by 36 inches. It is a creation of the restaurant Big Mama's and Papa's in Los Angeles. It is designed to easily feed 6 or 7 people. It became famous for its exaggerated size and television appearances. Perfect for gatherings, challenges, or unconventional celebrations. Have you seen the Jewish boy who managed to make a Buckingham guard laugh without a classic joke? He improvised a story saying they went to school together and that his mom was coming to pick him up because he was shy. The guard, usually locked in serious mode, broke and burst into laughter. When reality improvises, even protocol cracks. Meet life. Paint the Volvo spray that turns you into a reflective human, like a character with a nighttime power-up. You apply it to a bike backpack or clothing, and when the sun goes down, it glows so you can be seen from far away. It lasts several days and washes off with water without damaging anything. Discover Joshua Vides, the artist who takes real objects and turns them into 2D drawings in real life. He paints thick black lines over white, and suddenly a car looks like it stepped out of a comic. He has transformed sneakers, objects, and even full vehicles as if the world were intentionally misrendered. Is this real or a giant sketch question turned into art? Can you imagine sleeping under the sea like a fish with a black card? The Maraca in the Maldives has bedrooms several yards underwater with transparent walls. You lie down and the ocean looks back at you like an aquarium, except you are inside it. Extreme luxury mixed with marine architecture for people who say, "I want a view," and mean it. Meet Dominic Davis, the stop-motion animator who creates minimalist magic with simple things. Neutral colors, clean sets, and movements so precise they are a pleasure to watch. He uses basic materials like clay paper or wood and still achieves a hypnotic rhythm. It is like visual ASMR with monk-level patience. Did you know Barbara Lynn Hellman creates hyper-realistic portraits with dice? In her work, The Last D of Michael Jordan, she used thousands of black and white dice to build shadows and volume. Each die face acts like a shade of gray, as if mathematics decided to paint. Art plus calculation plus beautiful obsession. In Budapest, a movie theater opened with beds because someone said enough chairs, we deserve premium naps. You lie down with a pillow and watch the movie like it is an endless Sunday. It is inside a renovated shopping center and targets people who love cinema and rest. Beware, the real villain here is falling asleep during the best scene. Discover Christian Goni, the artist who uses Rubik's cubes like pixels on steroids. He arranges each cube to form colors, and from a distance, a full face or landscape appears. It is patience planning and steady hands, because one wrong twist and your celebrity gets an error. 404 face. Kinetic art for people unafraid of click-click. Did you know there's a dolphin with no dorsal fin, as if it came in a streamlined version? The southern right whale dolphin lives in cold waters of the southern hemisphere and is so elusive that spotting one feels like a reward. It has a robust body and a rounded head with no pronounced beak, very different from the typical smiling dolphin look. Meet the Pancake Bot 2.0, the printer that uses pancake batter instead of ink. You load a digital design and it draws pancakes shaped like characters, logos, or edible portraits. It is art you can eat, and that always wins. Perfect for fairs, events, or showing off at breakfast like a chef engineer. Discover the star fungus Astræus hygrometricus, which opens and closes depending on humidity like a natural sensor with style. When the air is dry, it folds up, and when moisture appears, it spreads into a star shape. It lives in dry soils and pine forests and looks like a geometric sculpture made by nature. Did you know that in Sichuan opera, there is a trick that looks like real magic? Bien Lian consists of changing mass in a fraction of a second without anyone understanding how. It is a secret technique, years of practice, and hands faster than gossip. Seeing it live feels like your eyesight just got hacked. Meet the Optimal 2200 machine that transplants giant trees as if they were flower pots on steroids. It uses hydraulic blades to extract the tree with its root ball and move it without destroying the roots. It is used in urban planning and conservation because sometimes relocation beats cutting. In Yakutsk, where the cold slaps your soul, a couple raises 22 children and 18 are adopted. Their home is basically a refuge of human warmth in the middle of ice. Between coats, logistics, and giant hearts, they build a massive family with smiles included. If winter is hardcore, they are resilience mode. Did you know the snowy owl looks like a snowball with yellow eyes saying, "Do not underestimate me"? It lives in the Arctic with dense feathers that protect it from brutal cold. It hunts on snow and became an icon of frozen landscapes and northern legends. White, silent, and extremely elegant, the polar ninja with feathers. Meet fluffy cows, cattle that look like extra-large plush toys. It is not magic, it is breeding brushing, bathing in special drying to make the hair look fluffy. At livestock shows and online, they go viral because you want to hug them, even if they might disagree. Cuteness also has a hair salon. Do you like videos that make you sweat just by watching? Jay Masters is dedicated to extreme sports, jumps from heights skydiving, and stunts that leave your hands cold. He mixes adrenaline with professional production, like each clip is a short film. It inspires and terrifies, and that is the business. Your mom watches and turns off the screen. Did you know there is a pink grasshopper due to a genetic rarity called erythrism? It is not another species, it is a mutation that turns it bubblegum pink and ruins its camouflage. That is why seeing one is extremely rare, because nature does not forgive being flashy. It is like wearing a neon suit on a secret mission. Beautiful, but with low survival odds. Meet the Soul Real Team Brazilian skydivers, who fly in formation like a choreography in the sky. They perform high-speed acrobatics with surgical precision. Did you know there is a hotel where giraffes greet you at breakfast like curious neighbors? At Giraffe Manor in Nairobi, Rothschild, giraffes approach the windows and guests can feed them. It is luxury with conservation because part of the income helps protect the species. The experience is so sweet it feels unreal. Breakfast with long necks included. In Talca, Chile, nature went rebellious and created an inverted waterfall where the water seems to go up. The trick is strong winds and air currents pushing the stream upward, creating a brain-breaking illusion. It is like gravity saying not working today. You stare and start doubting everything. Meet the Lord of Tlapalita, a religious figure from the state of Mexico, made with corn cane using a traditional indigenous technique. It is celebrated with devotion processions and a syncretic mix of indigenous and Christian beliefs. It is art, faith, and history in one piece. When you see it, you understand why tradition carries weight. Did you know there are scissors with a laser guide to cut straight as if your hand had a built-in ruler? It does not cut with laser. The light only marks the path, so you stay on the line. Useful for sewing paper crafts in any project where a millimeter ruins your day. It is the solution for people who say, "I cut fine," and then do not. Discover transformation of pencils where graphite leads are turned into micro sculptures that look impossible. With tiny blades and magnifying lenses, they carve towers, animals, or letters into minimal space. Each piece takes hours or days because patience rules here. It is ant mode art, small, detailed, and brutally difficult. Meet Deep End Fitness, extreme aquatic training that mixes breath-holding endurance and mental calm. Underwater routines teach you to control breathing and avoid panic. Athletes, military personnel, and people seeking personal limits use it. It is a gym where air is a privilege. Did you know Denis Sadich turns trash into hyper-realistic portraits? He uses old jeans, cables, bottles, and cans to assemble faces that look like photographs. It is upcycling at gallery-level recycling that not only works, but hits hard. Activism with aesthetics, so awareness can be beautiful too. Meet Hercules, the Amazon robot that lifts shelving units like they are light boxes. Its job is moving massive racks in fulfillment centers to speed up orders. It is brute force with a system brain optimizing everything like real-life Tetris. If you complain about grocery bags, this robot laughs in 1,235 pounds. Did you know Daniel Corden captures northern lights in photos that look from another planet? He uses long exposures in polar locations, so the sky appears painted with light. His night landscapes feel unreal like movie backdrops. They are the kind of images that make you say, okay, Earth can make art too. The C-5M Super Galaxy is a cargo aircraft so large it looks like a building with wings. It can transport enormous items like tanks, helicopters, and massive equipment for military or humanitarian missions. It is the logistics beast. When the world needs moving, they call this air monster. If it could talk, it would say, "Load it all, I do not mind." Meet the sand spider, the desert ninja that disappears in seconds. It buries itself incredibly fast and waits hidden for prey, like invisibility is active. Even predators struggle to detect it. Master-level camouflage. Did you know that in curling sweeping, the ice can change the path of the stone? When the broom passes, it slightly warms the surface and reduces friction, helping guide the slide. It is chess on ice with brooms and strategy. It looks gentle, but it is precise. A sport where cleaning is tactics. Discover the food printer that draws, shapes logos or portraits on dishes using edible inks made from vegetables and flowers. It is cooking with software, ideal for pastry and events where you want to wow before the first bite. It can also adapt to special diets. Art that ends in your stomach, the happiest ending. Did you know cuneiform writing is one of the oldest in the world and was made on clay tablets? Styluses were used to press wedge shapes like history written with soft taps. From there came some of the oldest literature, like the Epic of Gilgamesh, basically the first save file of humanity. Meet the Freddo chair, which reclines 180 degrees and puts you in a gamer bed mode in seconds. It has lumbar support and adjustments to survive work streaming or guilt-free naps. It blends comfort and posture with modern aesthetics. Real danger, never wanting to stand up again. A coffee that rains sugar, yes. At Mellower Coffee, they serve a drink where a cloud of cotton candy melts with steam and falls like sweet rain onto the coffee. It is hypnotic, tasty, and theatrical, like your cup has special effects. You do not just drink coffee, you watch a show. The barista is the film director. Discover Millie Carey's system that disinfects fruits and vegetables in minutes using technologies like ozone or ultrasound. The idea is to clean without leaving chemicals or ruining texture and flavor. Useful for homes or businesses wanting fast, effective hygiene. It is premium washing for your salad. Meet the robot dog with a flamethrower. Yes, it exists. And that is why the internet never disappoints. It has been shown useful for extreme cleaning tasks or dangerous jobs, but also raises serious debates about misuse. It is impressive technology with strong movie vibes. Reminder, futuristic still needs limits. Did you know female northern cardinals pluck feathers from their belly to incubate better? They create a bare skin patch to transfer heat directly to the eggs. It is motherhood without filters, efficient and sacrificial. No drama, pure instinct. Discover the Interlace in Singapore, a building that breaks the classic skyscraper mold. Instead of rising as a tower, it stacks cross blocks, creating courtyards and open spaces. Its design maximizes light and ventilation, and it has been awarded for sustainability. It looks like a giant luxury Jenga. Meet Ida, the robot artist that uses artificial intelligence to create works already sold for huge sums of money. It has cameras in its eyes and robotic arms to paint or draw, even though it does not understand like a human. Its existence sparks debate. Is art intention or result? Still, the painting stares back, and you hesitate. Did you know there is a South Korean exoskeleton that helps people walk, carry weight, and climb stairs with less fatigue? It runs on batteries and is used in factories and rehabilitation. It is like putting on extra legs so the body suffers less. Technology that sounds like a comic but is becoming real. In Piedmont, Italy, there is a tree growing on top of another tree, a cherry tree riding a mulberry. No one knows for sure how it happened, but there they are, coexisting in a strange botanical fusion. Nature doing conceptual art without permission? Two trees, one mandatory photo. Meet the Mjolnir bottle opener inspired by Thor's hammer. Runes, solid steel, and a magnet to stick it on the fridge. It is practical and also a look what I have object perfect for Nordic fans and Marvel lovers alike. You open a bottle and feel like you summoned lightning almost. The beer is worthy of Asgard. Discover Air Yacht, a hybrid luxury concept mixing airship and yacht designed to travel by air and sea. It sounds like science fiction, but targets ultra-high-end tourism with suites, lounges, and panoramic views. The idea is traveling where transport itself is the experience, not just movement. In 1992 in Barcelona, Lithuania shined not only for its game, but also for its uniform sponsored by the band Grateful Dead. Psychedelic and full of vibe, they were pure rock on the court. Music and sports merged like never before. In 2002, the team Lemire made history, but not by winning. They lost 149-0 by scoring every goal in their own net as a form of protest. It was so unusual that even Guinness World Records took note. The match looked like a comedy, but the message was very serious. When the scoreboard protests louder than banners, in Barbra Streisand's basement, you do not just find shelves, but a private mini shopping mall. Each collection of rare objects is organized like a luxury store, showing her love for curation. It is her secret sanctuary where chaos and order meet in a fascinating way. Friends and fans of the diva are left speechless when they discover this hidden world. The jellyfish Chirodectes maculatus is a true ocean gem. It was filmed on video for the first time near the Great Barrier Reef and looks like a floating basketball in the water. Its rare appearance made history in the marine world because it remains a mystery. With its peculiar look and strange movements, this jellyfish became one of the most fascinating creatures of the deep. In Budapest, Hungary, Europe's first movie theater with beds opened its doors, and movies have never been so comfortable. Located inside a shopping mall renovated after 10 years closed, this cinema offers bed-shaped seating with pillows to enjoy films in total relaxation. Forget uncomfortable seats, here the movie experience feels like a cinematic nap. In Yakutsk, the coldest city in the world, Oksana and Alexander are raising 22 children, 18 of them adopted, and they do it with a smile. With temperatures dropping to minus 85 degrees Fahrenheit, their home is a refuge of human warmth in the middle of ice. Despite brutal winters, they have created a united and resilient family, the largest in the city. In 2023, the mountains of Utah turned pink and red, and it was not because of magic paint. This phenomenon known as watermelon snow happens when Chlamydomonas nivalis algae multiply in cold snow, giving it vibrant colors like purple, orange, and pink. The secret lies in a red pigment called astaxanthin that protects the algae from the sun. Imagine walking through snowy landscapes that look like natural works of art. In Talca, Chile, nature decided to break the rules with an inverted waterfall. Here, instead of falling, The water rises thanks to powerful winds and currents from the Mole River. This phenomenon creates such an amazing illusion that it makes you doubt what you are seeing. It is as if gravity decided to take a break. Hercules, Amazon's robot, is an impressive machine that can lift more than 1,235 pounds with ease. Its main task is moving shelves in logistics centers, making the entire workflow much faster. With its incredible strength and design, it optimizes operations and speeds up order preparation. This robot is revolutionizing logistics. Underwater rugby? Yes, it exists. Underwater rugby is played in deep pools with a ball that sinks thanks to salt water inside it. Players equipped with fins, goggles, and snorkels fight to score in baskets placed on the bottom. It is like a tactical battle in slow motion without losing intensity. A sport as strange as it is exciting. The sand spider is like a desert ninja. It buries itself in seconds and disappears without a trace. This stealth specialist hides under the sand, patiently waiting for unsuspecting prey to pass by. Even predators fail to detect it in its perfect hiding spot. A true camouflage master worthy of a spy movie. A coffee that rains sugar? Yes, it exists, and it is served at Mellower Coffee, a Chinese chain that adds magic to every cup. Their signature drink, Sweet Little Rain, combines an Americano with a cloud of cotton candy that melts with the hot steam. It is like watching sweetness rain onto your coffee. This cafe not only serves coffee, female northern cardinals have a surprising trick to care for their eggs. They pluck feathers from their bellies. This incubation patch exposes the skin so heat reaches the eggs directly. It is like wrapping them with their own bodies to ensure each chick gets the perfect temperature. In Piedmont, among vineyards and dreamlike hills, grows a rarity that looks like it came from a fairy tale. A tree growing on top of another tree. The famous double tree of Casorzo shows a cherry tree living on top of a mulberry tree as if riding on its shoulders. No one knows exactly how it happened, but there they are, fused in a strange botanical harmony. In Honolulu, Hawaii lives Hokule, a surfing cat who has conquered the waves. Rescued from a shelter, this feline discovered a love for water and became a local star. He rides waves with his human family on a surfboard, proving that dogs are not the only ones who enjoy the sea. His swimming skills and relaxed attitude made him famous online. A cat so unique that he dares to surf with the wind under his paws. In the charming canals of Venice, a boat shaped like a violin glides through the water, creating a magical and unique atmosphere. This floating piece is almost 40 feet long and is known as the Violin of Noah. It was designed by sculptor Livio de Marchi. During its debut, it was escorted by gondolas and motorboats while a string quartet performed a serenade on board. David Scott, better known as the Kiffness, is a talented content creator from South Africa who has taken over social media by combining catchy music with humor and viral videos. Since his beginnings in 2011 with live performances, he has achieved a unique mix of musical genres and comedy that made him popular worldwide. In Mathura, Uttar Pradesh, India, you can find the first hospital for elephants built by the organization Wildlife SOS. This innovative hospital is designed to treat elephants rescued from abuse and exploitation. It includes a pathology lab, digital radiology, and even laser therapy. It also features a medical lift and open spaces where elephants can walk freely, ensuring their physical and emotional well-being. In 2017, Juan Pedro Franco, a Mexican man aged 33, was recognized worldwide as the most obese person on the planet, weighing an astonishing 1,311 pounds. His extreme obesity resulted from a combination of poor diet and thyroid issues. Throughout his fight to improve his health, his story captured global attention and highlighted the enormous challenges he faced. Daisuke Samejima, a talented Japanese artist, has created a unique style by painting everyday scenes on spheres called flatball. His acrylic technique turns these curved surfaces into vibrant canvases where every detail seems to come alive. What makes his work fascinating is how the spherical shape adds a visual dimension that makes scenes feel even more realistic. Just like humans, chimpanzees can burst into laughter, especially when they are tickled. This playful behavior highlights the surprising similarities between our species and these primates, showing that laughter is a shared trait. Umeno Sumiyama and Kumkodama, born on November 5, 1913 on Shoto Island, Japan, hold the title of the world's oldest twins. Since their 70s, they joked about breaking the Guinness record, and at 107 years and 300 days, they achieved it. Despite living apart and facing bullying because of their resemblance, reuniting in their 70s allowed them to enjoy this achievement together. Imagine camping in a tent inspired by the famous Star Wars space station. Designed by Monster Factory, this futuristic tent fits 3 people and sets up in under 2 minutes. In addition to being waterproof, it features an air circulation system and a special layer that protects you from mosquitoes. The Obispado Towers, located in Monterrey, Mexico, are the tallest skyscrapers in Latin America, reaching about 1,000 feet in height. They also rank number 26 among the tallest buildings in the world. These impressive structures stand out not only for their height, but also for their versatility, housing a luxury hotel, offices, apartments, and recreational areas. The Mini Dog Treat Maker is an innovative device created by the brand Dash, designed specifically to make homemade dog treats. Its appearance resembles a waffle maker with 2 non-stick plates that cook bone-shaped snacks. It also comes with a recipe book full of ideas for healthy and natural treats for your pet. The YouTuber DeDrones created a unique drone using Coca-Cola cans, combining 3-dimensional printed parts with cameras and motors. On his channel, he shows the entire construction process of this peculiar flying device, which despite its funny look can actually fly. This drone surprises not only for its appearance, but also for its ability to stay airborne for several minutes. A group of creators led by Hacksmith decided to take the myth of Thor to the extreme by building an impossible-to-lift hammer. They took a realistic replica and filled it with melted lead, reaching more than 110 pounds. They called it Mjolnir, but without spells, just brute force. Lifting it is almost as hard as being worthy of the god of thunder. A mesmerizing marble track broke a world record when a marble traveled 6,290 feet. The event took place in Elg, a small town in Switzerland, and was certified by Guinness World Records. The marble wound through houses, hills, and homemade structures for over a mile. A true spectacle of precision, patience, and gravity. In New Zealand, there is a farm where cows graze among giant sculptures. It is Gibbs Farm, an open-air art gallery created by businessman Alan Gibbs. 22 renowned artists left their mark on this surreal landscape. It is like a museum, but with sheep and ocean views. The hog-nosed snake does not bite. It pretends to die like a soap opera actress. When it feels threatened, it flips onto its back and plays dead with its tongue hanging out. Its upturned snout gives it a cute yet strange look. It lives in the Americas and Madagascar, and although it is a drama queen, its trick works. Antelope jackrabbits do not give up against cacti. They remove the spines to eat them. In the desert where water is scarce, they perfected this extreme survival trick. This way they get both food and hydration. Small, brave, and very clever. In Delhi, there is a bar where instead of drinks, they serve pure oxygen. It is called OxyPure and offers an aromatic experience with nasal tubes and essences like mint, lemon, or lavender. In just 15 minutes, you can feel refreshed as if you took a breath straight from the Himalayas. Founded by Arshavir and Margarita, this bar became a curious and healthy alternative to alcohol. Cheers with air. On the German island of Nordstrandismoor, residents do not use cars but individual trains. A railway about 2.2 miles long connects the island to the coast, and each resident has their own wagon. Although it started as transport for materials, it adapted for personal use. Wagons vary between open and closed, but sometimes the wind becomes an obstacle. That is how 18 people on an island move like true train drivers. In a corner of Sydney, 20 tiny acrobats surprised the world when they were born at Taronga Zoo. They are pygmy possums, marsupials no longer than 3.5 inches, that glide between branches like expert flyers. With feathered tails and skin that works like wings, they dominate the forest air. They live among leaves and heights, barely touching the ground. In the middle of the Saudi desert, a mirrored cube seems to vanish among the dunes. It is the Mariah Concert Hall. With almost 175,000 square feet of glass, it reflects the landscape like a modern mirage. It was built in just 3 months and hosts everything from concerts to luxury dinners. Deep in the Tadoba Safari, an Indian student named Oban Abhishek experienced a movie-like encounter with a rare black leopard for 40 minutes. This feline, dark as night, owes its rarity to a mutation rich in melanin. From Colombia, Oscar Mendez transforms discarded plastic into pieces that build futures. His interlocking blocks made from recycled waste become earthquake-resistant homes and classrooms. Each structure is a puzzle that also brings communities together. In Finland, facing the cold is an art called avanto. The tradition involves cutting a hole in frozen lake ice and plunging into the icy water, then seeking refuge in the heat of a sauna. This temperature shock revitalizes both body and mind, offering unmatched well-being. It has become a popular ritual known for renewing energy. Artist Jason DeCaires Taylor creates stunning underwater sculptures that serve as artificial reefs. His latest work, Ocean Atlas, is a sculpture weighing about 132,000 pounds that rises from the seafloor toward the surface. This impressive installation, located off the coast of the Bahamas, merges art and nature. In the Democratic Republic of the Congo lies the largest and oldest lava lake in the world, an incredible river of molten rock that fascinates scientists from across the planet. Located inside the Nyiragongo volcano, one of the most active and dangerous in Africa, this natural phenomenon is a true volcanic laboratory. The intensity and constant activity of the volcano turn it into an unpredictable and mesmerizing spectacle. The Cruffin is a delicious revolution that has taken over social media. It is a perfect mix between a croissant and a muffin. Imagine a crispy outer layer with a soft, fluffy interior that melts in your mouth. Its unique flavor has made it the new favorite of sweet lovers. This pastry gem can be found in bakeries around the world, showing what culinary creativity can achieve. Did you know that rapper Kanye West bought a real matte black armored tank just to drive around his ranch? The artist prefers this military transport system over any luxury car, using this metal relic to protect his privacy in real life. It might be the heaviest and wildest vehicle ever used for a simple grocery run in a biography full of excess. Discover Mariah Carey and her eccentric habit of sleeping with 20 real humidifiers surrounding her bed. She says she needs to live inside a cloud of steam to keep her vocal cords like a perfect relic, creating a jungle-like climate inside her bedroom. It is the secret behind her whistle voice, maintained by a constant humidity system that would cost a fortune for anyone else. Do you know Lost Sock Day, a real date dedicated to mourning that piece of clothing the washing machine swallowed without a trace? It is a moment to reflect on the mystery of the household system that separates fabric couples, turning an empty drawer into a relic of loneliness. It is the funniest form of mourning in real life for clothing that decided to run away. Did you know that boxer Floyd Mayweather only uses real underwear once and then throws it away? The athlete spends thousands of dollars a year on this hygiene relic, rejecting any washing system to wear brand new underwear every morning in real life. It is one of the strangest levels of wealth where fresh cotton is the only daily rule. Have you heard of Talk Like a Pirate Day, when the real world replaces hello with a loud air war? It is a real celebration meant for fun with eye patches and treasure maps, turning a boring afternoon into a nautical adventure relic. It is the official day to search for buried gold in your backyard and act like a true sea wolf. Discover Michael Phelps and his real physical advantage of having a very long torso and short legs that work like paddles. This body shape is a natural relic that lets him glide through real water with a propulsion system no one else can match. He looks like a swimmer designed by an engineer to break every stopwatch on the planet. Did you know that singer Adele has a real used piece of gum from Celine Dion framed like a priceless jewel? She got this relic from a mutual friend and now keeps it in her real home as a system of divine inspiration for her own songs. It is the stickiest and most amusing souvenir a star has ever collected. Discover why actor Tom Hanks owns a real collection of more than 250 antique typewriters from all over the world. He loves the sound of metal hitting paper and uses this relic from the past to send real letters to friends instead of emails. It is a classic writing system that keeps the magic of ink alive in the real world. Did you know that baseball star Shohei Ohtani travels with a real custom pillow that has its own suitcase so his sleep system is never disturbed? The athlete treats his rest like a golden relic, making sure his neck stays in perfect position to hit real home runs. He is a baseball giant who cannot live without his favorite sleep accessory. Discover Bill Murray and his real eccentricity of not having an agent, but instead a secret 1-800 phone number where people leave messages. If he likes the idea, he calls back. If not, your proposal remains a voice relic inside an endless mailbox. It is the most mysterious and entertaining hiring system in all of Hollywood. Discover Bicycle Day, which actually celebrates the first real LSD trip taken by scientist Albert Hofmann. While riding his bike home, his mental system experienced a relic of colors and visions that changed the real world of science forever. It is the most psychedelic and famous bike ride ever recorded. This is Johnny Depp and his real collection of animal skeletons and stuffed pigeons decorating his home. The artist finds beauty in these relics of death, surrounding himself with a dark decorative system that reflects his Gothic-filled career in the real world. It might be the strangest private museum you could ever visit inside a celebrity mansion. Did you know that swimmer Ian Thorpe has real size 17 feet that work like natural fins every time he enters the pool? This physical propulsion system is an anatomical relic that makes him unstoppable in real water, leaving rivals far behind. He is the athlete who was born wearing his own diving gear. Did you know that actor Nicolas Cage once bought a real octopus for $150,000 because he believed it would help his acting system? He claimed that watching its underwater movements was an inspirational relic for his gestures, creating a unique marine atmosphere in his real home. It is spending a fortune on an 8-armed teacher to become a better actor. Did you know that baseball pitcher Zach Greinke once stopped a real game to tell the opposing batter exactly which pitch he was about to throw? This system of brutal honesty shocked everyone, turning the at-bat into a relic of pure psychological duel in front of thousands of real people. He is the pitcher who trusts his arm so much he gives the enemy an advantage, just to see who truly wins. Discover Michael Phelps and his real diet of 12,000 calories a day, where he devoured massive amounts of pasta and pizza just to maintain his energy. His body system processed food like a steam engine, turning every bite into a power relic to win real gold medals. It is eating what 5 people eat together and still having abs of steel in the real pool. Did you know that singer Dolly Parton wrote her 2 biggest real hits, Jolene and I Will Always Love You, on the same afternoon of inspiration? It was an explosive creativity system that left behind a double musical relic, proving that real talent does not need weeks of work. It is the most profitable and emotional writing marathon ever seen in the real world. Did you know that Angelina Jolie used to gift her partners real vials with drops of her own blood as commitment amulets? It was an extreme love system meant to create a real physical bond, turning a small necklace into a Gothic passion relic that left the real world speechless. It is the most intense and red way of saying I love you forever. Meet Max Scherzer, the real baseball pitcher, who has one blue eye and one brown eye due to a unique genetic condition. This visual system gives him a fierce look on the mound, turning his face into a natural design relic that intimidates any batter in the real world. He is the only real player who can say he sees the game in two different colors. Did you know that Justin Bieber has such an intense real phobia of spiders that he cannot enter a room if he thinks one might be there? His team must check every corner to ensure a bug-free system, treating his safety like a high-maintenance relic in real life. He is the real idol who trembles before a creature that fits on a fingernail. Discover Shohei Ohtani and his real habit of never leaving home without his own high-quality recovery equipment to sleep 12 hours. The athlete believes deep sleep is the secret system that allows him to throw pitches at about 99 miles per hour, treating bedtime like an invisible training relic. He is the real champion, hitting home runs while others are still eating breakfast. Did you know that Eminem requires his hotel room to be in total real darkness with a white noise sound system in order to sleep? He cannot tolerate even a trace of external light, creating a void that becomes a visual silence relic so he can rest from a real life full of rhymes and stages. He is the real king of rap, searching for calm in the deepest shadow. Discover Lady Gaga and her real eccentricity of hiring a team of seamstresses to live with her during tours and fix any wardrobe disaster instantly. Her fashion system is so complex that every outfit is a design relic, needing constant care in the real world. It is having a personal haute couture workshop running 24 real hours just for her. Did you know that baseball player Ichiro Suzuki sent his real leather gloves every winter to a special factory for a luxury maintenance system? He treated his tool like a relic of his own body, making sure the material was always ready to catch any real ball. It is the highest level of care for the object that turned him into a batting samurai. Did you know that singer Katy Perry has the real eccentric habit of collecting locks of hair from other artists like Taylor Swift and Miley Cyrus? She keeps these hair relics in her bag as a personal memory system, creating a biography of real encounters through small strands of color. It is the strangest and funniest habit a real pop star has ever confessed. Did you know that Angelina Jolie holds a real pilot license and prefers flying her own small private plane instead of traveling first class? The freedom system she feels in real air is her favorite escape relic, letting her see the real world from the clouds while controlling the aircraft herself. She is the real actress who masters the skies as powerfully as movie screens. Meet Randy Johnson, the real baseball pitcher who was so tall and threw so hard that he once accidentally disintegrated a bird mid-flight. His fastball system crossed paths with the unlucky animal during a real game, creating a shocking moment relic no one in the real world will ever forget. It is the most explosive accidental accuracy in sports history. Discover Pillow Fight Day, when thousands of real people gather in public squares to hit each other with feathers and cotton. It is a system of massive fun where every pillow strike becomes a relic of childhood joy, filling the real air with laughter and white clouds of stuffing. It is the only battle in the real world where the biggest risk is laughing too hard. Did you know that actor Bill Murray once walked into a real party of strangers, started washing everyone's dishes, and then left without saying a word? His surprise appearances are a real urban legend relic, proving he loves hacking real life with funny and humble gestures. He is the real star who prefers scrubbing pans over signing boring autographs. Meet Usain Bolt, the fastest man in the real world, who has a real phobia of snakes and cannot even look at pictures of them. Despite his incredible speed system that could outrun any real danger, he trembles at the sight of a reptile relic. Even lightning has its fears. Did you know that Justin Bieber once bought a real capuchin monkey named Mally and took it on tour but had to leave it at a German customs office? His exotic pet system caused a real problem, turning the small animal into a media controversy relic that traveled the real world. It is the cutest and most complicated whim a real teen idol has ever had. Did you know that actor Nicolas Cage owns a rare object straight out of a nightmare? A real shrunken head made by ancient tribes? He keeps this relic in his real home as a connection system to past rituals, claiming it gives him special energy for his wildest roles. It is owning the darkest souvenir imaginable as living room decor. Meet the corpse flower, a living organism so strange it blooms only once every 10 years and smells like real rotting flesh. This biological system attracts insects with its scent of death, turning each bloom into a botanical relic that draws thousands of curious visitors. It is the largest and smelliest flower you could ever encounter. Discover the strange invention of glasses for reading while lying down, a real prism system that lets you see your book while staring at the ceiling. It is a relic of extreme comfort designed for the laziest people in the real world, preventing neck strain while enjoying a real good read. It is the funniest visual technology for not moving a single muscle in bed. Did you know there is an alarm clock system with the smell of bacon, a strange invention that actually cooks a real strip of meat so the aroma wakes you up? Instead of an annoying sound, this morning kitchen relic seduces your nose in real life, making waking up the tastiest part of the day. It is every breakfast lover's dream brought to life by a mad engineer. Learn about the anecdote of Charlie Chaplin, who once entered a real Charlie Chaplin look-alike contest and finished in third place. The judging system failed to recognize the real artist, preferring performers who exaggerated his gestures, creating a relic of irony in real film history. It is the ultimate level of fame where the creator cannot beat his own copy in the real world. Discover the bleeding tree, a strange plant called the dragon tree that releases a real red resin when its bark is cut. Ancient people believed this liquid was real dragon blood with magical powers, turning the tree into a legendary relic that still grows in remote places of the real world. It is nature showing its most dramatic and colorful side. Meet the strange plant known as the dancing plant, a real organism whose leaves move on their own when they detect music or real vibrations. This sound response system looks like magic, but it is an evolutionary relic that helps the plant better seek light in the real jungle world. It is like having a green pet that dances to your favorite songs. Did you know that physicist Isaac Newton had the real eccentric habit of poking his own eye with a needle to study how his color vision changed? The scientist risked his real visual system to understand light, leaving behind a diary relic explaining his wild experiments in the real world of science. It is the most dangerous and brave curiosity a genius has ever shown. Have you heard of the strange plant called living stones? A real organism that perfectly camouflages itself among desert rocks to avoid being eaten? This visual defense system is a relic of extreme survival, fooling any real-world eye looking for something green to chew on. They are plants that look like minerals and only reveal their secret when they suddenly bloom. Did you know that inventor Thomas Edison created a system of real talking dolls that were so terrifying they completely failed in stores? This relic used a small metal phonograph inside the toy, but the shrill voice scared real-world children instead of entertaining them. It is the father of light accidentally creating the first horror toy in real history. Did you know there is a strange plant called doll's eye, whose white fruits have a real black dot that looks like an unblinking stare? This natural relic is highly toxic and seems to watch anyone walking through the real forest, using a frightening visual system to warn of its danger. It is the most unsettling and watchful plant you could encounter on a real hike. Have you heard of the strange invention known as the wooden swimsuit, a system of real wooden slats created in the 1920s to help people float? Although it was a relic of ingenuity, it was so uncomfortable and hard to move in that no one in the real world used it more than once. It is like trying to swim as a real log while attempting to stay stylish at the beach. Discover the oldest strange object made by humans in the real world, a bone flute more than 40,000 years old. This relic proves that the system of music has accompanied living beings since the very beginning, using a real flute to fill ancient caves with sound. It is the first entertainment technology we invented to brighten our real existence. Did you know science has created a time crystal, a real matter system that moves perpetually without using external energy? It is a relic of quantum physics that seems to break the laws of the real world, opening the door to computers that could function in ways we cannot even imagine today. It is the future of real technology being born inside a crystal laboratory. Look at the ghost army of the Second World War, which used real inflatable tanks to deceive the enemy. This distraction system was a relic of military ingenuity that saved thousands of real lives using nothing but air and powerful speakers. It is winning a real war through the magic of deception and a lot of giant balloons. Discover the strange invention of the pool table for boats, a system of real gyroscopes that keeps the surface level even when the sea is rough. It is a relic of luxury engineering designed so the balls do not move with the waves in the real world, allowing perfect play in the middle of the ocean. It is balanced technology applied to fun, so you never miss a shot because of seasickness. Did you know that genius Albert Einstein never learned how to drive a real car and preferred walking or riding a bicycle everywhere? He said his thinking system worked better when he moved under his own power, treating his bicycle relic as the best transportation in the real world. It is the brightest brain in real history that never learned how to reverse. Have you heard of the strange plant called snapdragon, which when its flowers die, they dry out and turn into tiny real skulls? This botanical relic looks like a decoration system for a horror movie in the real world, hanging from branches like small crystal craniums. It is nature showing its most gothic and surprising side at the end of its life cycle. Did you know there is a strange invention called the square wheel bicycle? A real engineering system that works perfectly on a track made of special curves? This geometric relic proves that the impossible becomes real when you apply the laws of physics creatively in the real world. It is the strangest and bounciest ride you could imagine on a transport system that defies logic. Discover the blood flower, a strange plant that grows directly from the ground and looks like a real open wound in the earth. This leafless growth system attracts flies with a strong scent, making it a relic of African forests that feels pulled from a dark magic story in the real world. It is the most unsettling beauty you could encounter on a real expedition. Meet the strange invention of the electric spaghetti fork, a system with a real motor that spins the prongs so you do not have to move your wrist. It is a relic of culinary laziness that became a cult object in the real world, perfect for those who want to enjoy pasta with zero effort. It is the loudest and funniest solution for an Italian dinner. Did you know there is a strange organism called the bleeding tooth fungus that releases a real red liquid that looks like strawberry jam or blood? This exudation system is a relic of damp forests that scares anyone who sees it for the first time in the real world, even though it is actually harmless. It is the most terrifying dessert nature has ever placed on a log. Learn the real story of the rubber manuscript, a book invented so sailors could read underwater or during real storms without the pages falling apart. It was a publishing relic that used a rubber system to protect the letters, allowing real culture to survive ocean humidity. It is the real rubbery ancestor of waterproof electronic books. Discover the science behind the Vactrin, a strange invention of real trains that would travel through vacuum tubes at more than 1,000 kilometers per hour without friction. It is a transportation system that feels like a relic from the future, promising to cross real countries in minutes using magnetic power. It is the real evolution of rail travel that would make us feel like we are riding inside a silver bullet. Did you know actor Tom Cruise once rented an entire real cruise ship so his film crew could live inside a safe bubble system during the pandemic? He spent a real fortune on this floating hotel relic to protect the work of hundreds of people in the real world. It is taking the idea of an office with a view to the most extreme and luxurious level of real cinema. Meet the strange plant known as Buddha's hand. a real citrus fruit that has yellow fingers instead of segments and looks like a praying hand. It is a fruit relic with no juice and no seeds, but its aroma system is so powerful it is used to perfume real rooms across the East. It is the most sacred and unusual fruit you could place in a real fruit bowl. Discover the strange object known as the Hope Diamond, a real blue relic said to carry a curse for anyone who owns it. Throughout real history, its owners have suffered incredible systems of bad luck, turning the stone into the most feared and fascinating jewel in the real world. It is crystal beauty that shines with a light as intense as it is dangerous. Did you know inventor Alexander Graham Bell wanted people to answer the real telephone by saying ahoy instead of hello? The nautical greeting system was his favorite relic, but Thomas Edison pushed hello into the real world and changed communication forever. We were very close to sounding like pirates every time we answered a real call. The strange plant called Welwitschia is a real organism that can live more than 2,000 years with only 2 leaves that never stop growing. This desert life system is a relic of endurance, surviving real heat with a structure that looks like green debris, but is pure living magic. It is the toughest living fossil in the real world. Meet the pitcher plant, a real organism that has developed a hunting system so perfect it tricks insects into slipping into its liquid-filled interior. This natural relic digests its prey to gain energy in the real world, turning its body into an elegant cup-shaped death trap. It is the smartest carnivorous plant you could encounter in a real jungle. Discover the strange invention of the amphibious bicycle, a system with real flotation wheels designed in the 1930s to pedal on both land and water. Although it was a relic of creative engineering, it was so heavy that almost no one in the real world managed to cross a river without sinking in laughter. It is the dream of being a sailor and cyclist at the same time made real. Have you heard of the strange plant called passion flower, which has a system of real filaments that look like the cables of a cosmic antenna? This botanical relic is so complex that ancient people saw religious symbols in it, while in the real world it stands out for its alien beauty and electric colors. It is the flower that looks like it was designed by a real science fiction artist. Discover the strange object known as Tutankhamun's dagger, a real relic forged from metal taken from a fallen meteorite. Ancient Egyptians used a space forging system thousands of years before understanding outer space, creating a blade that does not rust in the real world. It is owning a sharpened piece of a star as the most dangerous jewel in real history. Did you know there was a strange invention called the radio hat, a real helmet system from the 1940s with a giant antenna that let you listen to music while walking? It was the ancestor relic of modern headphones, allowing real humans to carry sound on their heads in the real world. It is looking like a real alien just to avoid missing the daily news. Did you know George Lucas was so convinced his movie Star Wars would be a real failure that he went on vacation to Hawaii to avoid the premiere? While relaxing on the beach, he discovered that his system of ships and robots had become the most successful cinema relic of its time. It is the director who ran from real success out of fear of losing. Discover the strange plant called the red cage fungus, a real organism that grows as a perfect geometric net and smells like rotten meat. This structural system looks like a modern art relic emerging from the ground in the real world, using its odor to attract flies. It is nature's soccer ball that no one would ever want to kick. Did you know inventor Benjamin Franklin spent real hours sitting naked in front of his window, calling this practice his air baths? He believed this freshness system was a health relic for his body in the real world, ignoring the looks of neighbors walking down his real street. It is the father of electricity searching for real energy in the most natural way possible. Have you heard of the strange object known as the Lycurgus cup, a real Roman relic that changes color from green to red depending on how light passes through it? Craftsmen used a system of tiny gold particles without knowing they were performing advanced real science for their time. It is the first example of real visual magic trapped in glass from thousands of years ago. Discover the strange plant known as the cobra lily, a real organism that looks like a snake ready to strike with a forked tongue. This leaf system traps insects in a maze of light they cannot escape from in the real world, becoming a relic of extreme survival. It is the plant that pretends to be a real reptile just to get dinner. Learn the anecdote of Alfred Hitchcock, who loved playing heavy pranks on his real film sets, such as giving someone 400 live turkeys just to see their reaction. The director used this dark humor system as a relic of his personality in the real world, turning his actors' lives into a constant suspense movie. He was the true master of fear, laughing at everyone with a touch of feathers. Discover the science of aerogel, a real material invented by accident that is 99% air and can hold a brick above a flower without crushing it. It is a relic of modern chemistry that looks like frozen smoke in the real world, acting as the most powerful insulation system on the planet. It is like touching a real cloud that can resist direct fire without burning. Did you know there is a strange plant called the flying duck orchid that evolved to look exactly like a small, real wooden duck? This visual system attracts insects so they pollinate it in the real world, making it a relic of natural mimicry that amazes everyone in Australian forests. It is the most charming and adventurous flower you could see in real nature. Meet the strange invention of the dimple-making machine, a system of real springs from the 1930s that pressed against the cheeks to create beauty marks. It was a relic of painful fashion that promised to change the real face through constant pressure. Although in the real world it only caused bruises, it is the wildest sacrifice ever made for a perfect smile system in the past. Meet the ghost plant, a real organism with no chlorophyll that is completely white, looking like a glass relic in the middle of the forest. This life system does not need sunlight, preferring to feed on underground fungi in the real world of shadows. It is the palest and most mysterious plant you could find, glowing like a real specter among dry leaves. Discover the strange invention of dog goggles, a real protection system designed for pets that love sticking their heads out of car windows. This canine fashion relic prevents wind and insects from damaging their eyes in the real world, turning an ordinary ride into a biker-style parade. It is seeing your best friend with a real pilot look while enjoying the breeze. Did you know that in real medical history, a system of coffin alarms with a bell was invented for people who feared being buried alive? This funerary ingenuity relic allowed someone who woke up underground in the real world to pull a string and alert the surface. It was the first real emergency system for those who were not as dead as they seem. Did you know there is a strange organism called the dream fungus that grows in a perfect circular shape and looks like a seating system for fairies? This natural relic creates the famous fairy rings in the real world, circles of mushrooms that appear overnight after rain. It is the most magical and geometric design the real Earth can create on its own. Meet the strange invention of shoe umbrellas, a system of real mini domes that attach to your feet to keep leather dry. Although it is a curious relic of Japanese fashion, walking with them in the real world is a challenge to balance and dignity. It is the funniest solution for keeping your socks dry while jumping over real puddles. Did you know Harrison Ford worked as a real carpenter before becoming famous and built a furniture system for film directors? That relic of manual labor allowed him to meet the right people in the real world of Hollywood, moving from wood to spaceships. It is the real action hero who knows how to use a hammer both on screen and in the workshop. Did you know science has created a water-activated glue, a real system that becomes incredibly strong only when it gets wet? This modern chemistry relic imitates how muscles stick to rocks in the real world, allowing repairs to boats or even wounds underwater. It is the most rebellious adhesive in the real world because it hates being dry. Meet the strange plant called the jade vine, which has real blue-green flowers that look like artificial neon. It is a relic of the jungles of the Philippines with a pollination system that depends entirely on bats in the real world. It is like seeing an electric jewel hanging from trees, glowing under the real moonlight. Discover the strange plant known as the nature golf ball, a real cactus that is perfectly round and white. This cross-spine system protects the plant from harsh sunlight in the real world, looking like a lost sports relic in the middle of the Mexican desert. It is the cutest and most geometric cactus you could unsuccessfully try to put into a real hole. Did you know there's a strange invention called the sleeping bicycle? A real transportation system that lets you pedal while lying on your back. It is a relic of ergonomic design for those who want to travel the real world with maximum comfort, even if watching traffic becomes a bit harder. It is the most relaxed way to exercise while watching clouds pass by. Meet the strange object known as the Phaistos disc, a real clay relic engraved with symbols that no one has been able to translate for thousands of years. It is an ancient writing system that remains the greatest real-world puzzle for historians. It is the oldest secret message in real history, waiting for someone to figure it out. Discover the science of the whitest paint in the world, a real system capable of reflecting 98% of sunlight and cooling buildings. It is a nanotechnology relic that helps fight heat in the real world without using electricity, working like natural air conditioning. It is painting your real house with a color so bright you almost need sunglasses to look at it. Did you know actor Johnny Depp owns a very special strange object, the real suit from Edward Scissorhands kept inside a glass display case? He considers this relic the true beginning of his career in the real world, caring for the leather and blades as if they were part of his own body. It is owning the sharpest and most melancholic memory of real cinema at home. The strange plant called the dynamite tree has a reproduction system that launches its seeds at 155 miles per hour with a real explosion. Its fruits burst like a relic of natural fireworks, firing projectiles across the real jungle to ensure survival. It is the loudest and most dangerous plant that prefers exploding over simply dropping its fruit. Did you know actor Nicolas Cage once bought a strange object worthy of a movie? A real island in the Bahamas with its own private lagoon system. He wanted a refuge away from real-world noise, turning this land into a relic of his fortune before having to sell it due to money problems. It is the dream of being king of your own real paradise with a single signature. Discover the strange invention of onion goggles, a real protection system with foam seals that keeps gas away from your eyes. It is a kitchen relic designed so chopping onions does not become a tear-filled biography in the real world, allowing the cook to keep clear vision. It is the funniest and most effective way to face the most aggressive vegetable in the pantry. Did you know that in real history, King Frederick William I of Prussia had the eccentric habit of collecting a strange object, real soldiers taller than 5 feet 11 inches. This army system was a relic of his obsession with height, going as far as kidnapping tall men from across the real world for his personal guard. It was a royal parade of giants who never fought but looked intimidating. Discover the strange object known as Newton's tooth, a real relic of Sir Isaac Newton that was sold at auction for thousands of dollars. The buyer turned it into jewelry set in a ring, treating the bone as a system of connection to the genius of gravity in the real world. It is wearing a real piece of the brightest mind in history on your finger. Did you know science has created a total darkness paint? A real system known as Vanta Black that absorbs almost all light it receives. A relic coated with this material looks like a black hole in the real world, making any object lose its visible dimensions. It is like staring into a real void cut out of reality. Did you know the idol Luis Miguel has the real eccentric habit of traveling with his own silk sheets in a bottled water system from a specific brand that only comes from Fiji? The son of Mexico treats his rest as a sacred relic in the real world, demanding his hotel room stay at exactly 73 degrees Fahrenheit to protect his voice. Meet boxer Saul Canelo Alvarez and his favorite strange object, a collection of purebred horses he treats as part of his real team. The Mexican champion spends fortunes caring for them, giving them a luxury life system on his ranch where they even listen to relaxing music. It is the ring warrior who finds his real peace relic riding under the sun of Jalisco. Discover why Dominican baseball player Fernando Tatis Jr. wears real sunglasses with lenses coated in 24-karat gold during games. This visual system is not just about style, it works as a confidence relic that makes him feel unstoppable in the real world of the diamond. It is the real player who literally shines while hitting home runs that seem from another planet. And this is all. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Zarpado facts.